Hokage Hatake Glory, Chapter-161-180. Text Chapter-161 _ The Bad Move of the Gangster. Sangongzi, no matter what you do, you won't wear this kind of clothes. If HeyHey168.com wants to gain sympathy, you have to say that your acting skills are terrible and your actions are stupid. A famous son, no matter how downhearted, it is impossible to wear patched clothes. This is a matter of face. Third young master smiled bitterly. I knew you wouldn't believe it, but this is my life. Give me an explanation. Liamong put down the teacup and fixed his eyes. I've cut off my daily supplies since I left home, and I have to rely on this status to live. Sangongzi bit his lip mockingly, and there was blood in his mouth. I can't go to too high-end places, they most of them know the inside story. I can only hang out in low-end places. In order to keep my appearance bright, I prepared this outfit for myself. A folding fan with flowers and feathers, 00, a moon-white coat, and a pair of thick-soled high-bond cotton shoes. Third young master's combat equipment looks good, but if you look closely, you can still see flaws. Their grades are not high, except that the style is Guzhou style, and the materials are not handmade. It's hard to imagine that this would be the equipment of a big name, even an illegitimate child. It looks like your life is really bad, your father doesn't care about you at all. He really wants to take care of it, but he still has 2 sons. Third young master showed contempt in his eyes. I have monthly money, but I have never received my monthly money in full. Okay, I believe in your words, Eagle, prepare a sumptuous dinner, and we have to entertain the future Lord Damo well. Then I'll change Lord Damo into decent clothes that match his identity. Deadwood Master. Let's change clothes first, and we'll talk after changing clothes. Third son out of the room, Senju Tsunade yawned lazily. Are you really going to help him? Investment, a long-term investment. If he does, I will gain a lot of capital. If he loses, I will lose nothing. You can think about it. Of course. Lu Meng shrugged indifferently. There are enough lunatics in this world. If you don't want to open up, how will you live in the future? Wearing a battle suit worth tens of thousands of dollars on his body, the third son immediately changed his appearance, and his body that was thin into a bamboo pole also had the potential of a deputy immortal. This looks good. Liamong praised sincerely. The third son was sitting at the table awkwardly, his face turned Yuhi's face like a little daughter-in-law. What are your plans for the future? I think, third young master bit Kiba, I want to have my own power first. It's a good idea, have you figured out how to do it? No, third young master bowed his head, feeling extremely embarrassed. Think, don't do it, it's really everyone's son. Go and shoot AV. Puff. A mouthful of water spurted out, and both Tsunade Shizune were stunned. Hanada's little secretary shyly smirked Yuhi's face, and blinked her eyes with fragrant scales. Don't look at me with that kind of eyes. If you don't want to attract attention, you will have to contaminate yourself. It's not for you to act by yourself. After all, this industry is still very profitable, with small investment, quick results and low cost. 5 generations Hokage Jiraiya can write pornographic books to make money. It's not too much for you to shoot AV, and if you become a famous name in the future, no one will dare to talk about you. Quote. But I am, no, not quite. Depend on. It won't, so what else would you do? Third son, will you sleep with a woman? The third son nodded in embarrassment. Liamong was speechless. I'll go to bed. I won't be able to shoot AV, find a director, and then find the right man and woman, and it's enough to sell it after the auction. Is it really that simple? Then what do you think? You won't ask the director, and I don't know anything about lighting. Liamong wandered about half a bottle of water and continued, filming AV is only the first step, and then you have to unify the underworld in the country of fire, so that the attention will be minimal. Neither your brother nor your father will think that you are doing your job properly, not that you are raising power. Quote. Do you understand? Thank you, Master Kuimu for your guidance. Third young master nodded sincerely. Although the tricks were a bit damaged, they were really easy to use. The little secretary with face Yuhi fluttering. It doesn't matter if you can't do things. You can learn. Go back to the eagle to lead you. Ask him if you don't know anything. I'll say hello to him. Your identity is still very useful. At least the official side is easier to settle. I understand. Eat now, and go to the eagle after dinner. After a meal, he threw the third son to his subordinates to teach him. Liamong was about to take Hinata to go shopping when two more acquaintances came. Boss. Classmate Liamong. A boy with yellow hair, a girl with falling cherry blossoms, and an uncle with a natural face. Who is he? Liamong looked at Yamato Tianzang knowingly. Naruto sneered and pouted. Mr. Kakashi is sick, he is temporarily serving as the leader of the team. Biting the word, temporarily, fiercely, Naruto made Yamato half to death. Liamong smiled playfully. What are you doing here with me? Let's come out to find out about Sasuke and do a mission by the way. Naruto glanced at Liamong expectantly, but lowered his head when he couldn't get an answer. Some time ago, the daimyo caravan was attacked by Takigakushi and lost important items. The lecherous fairies sent us out to find them. A task like this is something you can do. When it comes to hidden villages in other countries, the lowest task level is B, which is inappropriate given Naruto's current level. Sakura is already Chunin. Captain Yamato is Jonin. Naruto scratched his head embarrassedly. I am the future Hokage-sama. Big you wool. With a black line on his forehead and a shriveled mouth, Yamato Sakura turned his face away. In the future, Lord Hokage, you should think about how to pass the Chunin exam first. Sakura, how can you say that? Am I lying? Damn it. I will definitely pass the exam next year. Naruto grabbed his hair and jumped his feet. If I hadn't had the written exam, I would have passed. Come on, I don't think you will be a Chunin in your life. Liamong also joked beside him. Who said that? Even if I can't be Chunin, I can be Hokage. The last update today, tomorrow morning, the Cloud chapter will be as early as possible. With the support of the brothers and sisters, the Cloud will thank you first. Text Chapter-162_inspirational means to leapfrog the technology of the era. The night on Taoyuan Street was slightly cold, and Yamato Tianzang's face was slightly gray. Interesting academy. Naruto, do you know what you did today? You are violating the ninja rules. Ninja regulations, is that a god horse thing? Looking at Uzumaki Naruto's puzzled expression, Yamato Tianzang strangled him to death. What did you learn when you were in school? Learn to sleep. Learn to sleep. Earth people know all about this. Naruto nodded and looked at Yamato with the eyes of an idiot. The new 7th squad leader went berserk. Do you know that ninjas must keep secrets when they go out on a mission? Is there such a rule? Sakura, who was sitting at the table, also darkened. This is what the first article of the ninja secrecy regulations says. Is there? Naruto put 3 question marks on his forehead. Sakura's hands were shaking, and Yamato's face was growling. Finally, Haruno Sakura couldn't take it anymore. You die for me. With a loud bang, Naruto slapped his forehead with a hammer, and Naruto, with a bruised nose and a swollen face, was lying on the table, looking at Sakura on the left and Yamato on the right, weak like a gas bag. It's okay for you to ask Kuchiki Liamong about Sasuke. He is an insider himself. But why should you reveal the information about the caravan? What if he grabs it? No way. Heihei168.com. Naruto grinned. Didn't Takian village do it? Why did it get involved with the boss again? It looks like this on the surface, but in fact, the possibility of a third-party attack is not ruled out. After all, both parties at the scene are dead. If one of them wins, they will not take away the bodies of their own people. Yamato folded his arms and said a little one drop for the 2 subordinates to analyze, so the most likely thing is that the snipe and the clam compete for the fisherman's profit. This fish sticks fight, fish what? Idiot, that means someone took advantage of it. Ah, it's over if you say that, why are you still making a profit? Asshole. Looking at her idiots who couldn't save her companions, Haruno Sakura ran wild both inside and out. Fuck him, fuck this idiot, he's too bad, kill him quickly. Little Sakura, what are you doing? What am I going to do? I'm going to kill you, you idiot, let the old lady die. The lynx jumped into the grass on a fiery night, and the crisp dawn heaven sang. Third young master, since you have the heart to sit in that position, let's talk about the power of the Daming Mansion first, and we should make plans earlier. Liamong raised his head with a piece of bread in his hand. Master Deadwood, the third son thought for a while, the strength of the Daming House is very complex, and can be roughly divided into 3 parts. The regular army, the Temple of Worship, and the Temple of Fire. Not to mention the regular army, what's in the enshrinement courtyard, and the Temple of Fire also talk about it carefully. The third son suppressed his saliva. The worship courtyard is filled with old antiques, warriors and onmyojis. There are still these things. Very few, but there are. Third young master nodded affirmatively. Although they are broken, the big name still needs them in some places. Where's the Temple of Fire? Liamong's eyes narrowed slightly. That place is very troublesome. The third son smacked his lips with a complicated expression. The monks in the Temple of Fire are all ninja monks, and they only accept immortal materials. They are another power of the direct master of the daimyo. In order to balance Konoha, Liamong smiled very strangely, and the third son was very embarrassed. Okay, let's settle the fire temple first. Master Deadwood, those bald heads are not easy to deal with. A problem that can be solved with money is not a problem. Liamong slowly pushed an IOU across the table. The Temple of Fire is currently the host of Delu, and the black market head price is 0.0. 0.00 taels, we will double it for him. 0.0. 0.00, I'm sure his head will move soon. This is, third young master picked up the white strip and looked at it. IOU. Liamong smiled and shrugged, brothers still have to settle accounts. In the future, Mr. Daming, it doesn't matter if you don't have money now, I can lend it to you, but you need to pay it back later. Ha ha ha, Master Deadwood, of course, it's reasonable. I wonder if you can lend me a little more, 100 million, I hope. No, I ask you to lend me 100 million. Third young master, don't say words like requests in the future, they don't fit your identity. Liamong threw the torn bread into his mouth and chewed. I can lend you 1 billion, as long as it's all worth it for you to be a big name. But what are you going to do with all that money? I need manpower, Master Deadwood. The third young master stood up excitedly. I need manpower, I need a lot of manpower, and I need manpower who can help me kill those 2 bastards. Sit down, anger can't solve any problem. Liamong pressed his hand and said persuadingly, you don't have to talk about revenge all day long. You remind me of someone I haven't seen in a long time. Classmate. Speaking of which, you two are really similar. But you are much luckier than him. Is there such a person? Master Kuchiki, if you have the opportunity, be sure to introduce us to you. Hee, I'll do it if I have a chance. Liamong lifted the water glass and sipped, thinking in his heart, considering the stinky virtue of Uchiha Sasuke, it would be good to meet you without slashing people with a knife. However, there are no absolutes in the world, maybe these 2 guys can really become friends. After breakfast, he sent people to the public toilet to add a reward. Liamong took the third son to the underground shooting range, and threw him a Colt revolver with silver light. Without waiting for him to speak, he picked up another one and aimed 6 shots in the distance. The continuous brilliance shot towards the wooden rake 100 meters away, and the third son was stunned by the flying debris. Deadwood Master. The Snow Country's latest scientific research product, an energy weapon. Ordinary genin are killed, and ordinary chunin may be injured, which is ineffective against jonin. This. A general-purpose weapon that anyone can use, it costs a lot to research. Liamong raised his mouth and showed a smile. 500,000 taels, the price of bullets is another. Think about it, if 100 people can take this kind of thing. Stuff. The cloud is almost clear. Brothers and sisters have the ability to support. Let us make progress together. A better tomorrow is waiting for us. It's cold, so put on more clothes. It's too uncomfortable to have a cold and a fever. Text chapter 163_ May the world be full of love. 500,000 taels of silver tickets for a gun. Lu Meng's heart is definitely black, and this is not counting the money for bullets. Interesting Academy first release. As a member of a new century society, Liamong will never cause him a big trouble. Guns are good weapons, but apart from bullets, they are not as powerful as a kitchen knife. At least a kitchen knife can still be used to cut people. What can a gun without bullets be used for? Hit someone. 100 bullets for a small nugget. Look, what a bargain this is. Plant a seed in spring, harvest 10,000 grains in autumn, let the whole world go crazy for firearms. Listen to the crackling in the rake, it's the music of God. Cam Subaru, babe. Boss, do you really want them to attack the country of fire with firearms? Eagle, every new weapon that comes out must be tested in actual combat. Our guns only work for the bottom, not for the elite. Even if 10,000 people bombard Gara with 10,000 guns, they won't kill me. That lovely brother-in-law. Are you afraid of being shot? Of course I'm not afraid of the boss. Ying shrugged silently. He is Jonin. What kind of thing can hurt Chi? It's over. You are not afraid, I am not afraid, and my women are not afraid, so whoever loves to be afraid, whoever is afraid to go, even if they are afraid of Verity. Liumin waved his right hand hysterically. I want to be the biggest arms dealer in the world, and I want to sell the weapons I make to thousands of households. Leaving him laughing all the way and leading his subordinates to tinker with the new casino, Lu Meng didn't want the legendary fat sheep to be stunned. Baccarat, roulette, poker, mahjong, pai gao, there are many gambling methods in the world. Interesting Academy, we have to have beautiful women, we have to have grades, and we have to have heavy metal music. Taoyuan Street's largest and possibly Hokage's largest casino in the world is under construction. In order to complete the construction period as soon as possible, our Liamong classmate raised a huge sum of money in front of Yamato, Sakura. Naruto's eyes were straight. It's 5 million, you can look it up and do me a favor. Deadwood Liamong, what do you mean? Yamato Tianzang touched his rib, which seemed to be aching, and couldn't help but think of the Vortex Kingdom incident. Go to hell with those unhappy people, you all have to investigate missing items anyway. I'll send my men to help you investigate, you come and help me build a house, I know you will be Mokuden, wood style. It's impossible, we have a task at hand now. Yamato glanced down at the pile of banknotes on the table, his throat was a little dry. Liamong's mouth almost turned to the sky. Don't be so stubborn, okay? It won't take long to build a house for me, and you can earn extra money. 5 million, this is the price of an S-level mission, and you can raise your hand. Earn, what are you thinking about? It's not against discipline. Liamong got up and walked to Yamato's side, patted him on the shoulder vigorously. If you're afraid of trouble, we can completely treat it as a transaction, and treat it as a labor fee for you to exchange information with me. Yamato lowered his head hesitantly. Sakura, Naruto are all sitting there stupid. Look, there is nothing in the world that money can't do. Put the money in Kabuto, and ninjas can't work for a lifetime. It's better to take it back and save it, or buy some rare ninja medicines. What can you do without money these days? Liamong said and took out 3 lightsabers. Then, plus this, if you don't agree, let's forget it. Weapons that dare to be sent are not afraid of imitation, and the black-hearted gangster begins to pave the way. 1 ice, 2 fires, and 3 lightsabers were turned on and tried. After carefully examining these magical weapons like fluorescent tubes, Yamato readily responded. As long as you take this thing back, 5 million is a small matter. Come on, here's an earthen wall, and there's a crossbar over there. Liamong pointed to all sides. 5 million employed people were better than 10,000 people. Doden, earth style, Sweden, water style, Mokuden, wood style. To spray Izumi and spray Izumi, to have walls with walls, and houses with houses, it only took less than a day, covering an area of 1,000 meters, and a total of 3 floors of a giant casino will look like. The rest of the decoration work has to be carefully thought out, but these are small things. Eagle, I need women, a large number of women, go to the border streets in the war-torn areas, rob or kidnap, prepare enough women of the upper middle class for me, and then I also need a group of orphans. Standing on the top balcony with open arms, Liuman ordered several things to his subordinates in a row. Refugees are the most indispensable thing between countries these days. I am saving the world. 3 days later, the first women arrived. They wear burlap clothes, generally have a sallow complexion, and long-term malnutrition leads to withered hair color, and they do not look any beauty. Liamong, who was standing in front of them, spoke, maybe the methods my subordinates used to invite you here were a bit violent, but I am a peace-loving person. You can choose your career according to your own wishes. I will never force you to do so. Good family women, everything is up to your own choice. Quote. Whether you take off your pants and use your body to earn money, or use your mind to learn casino techniques, or do nothing and do some work of serving tea and water. I believe everyone has their own value. Choose, you have a month. Make plans for your future. During this month, I will hire the Snow Royal family clerk to teach you etiquette, and I will also invite famous casino masters to teach you simple game rules. I will also invite top-level support from Fengyu venues teach you how to seduce men, and see how kind I am. After Lu Meng finished talking about these women, he instructed his subordinates. Eagle, they are all handed over to you. Take a bath first and then change your clothes. Even if my subordinates are again, they will have no worries about food and clothing. No matter what they choose in the future, we must give them the least respect. I understand the boss. The eagle nodded very solemnly in response. After spending a few years together, he understood the Liuman's behavior very well. More than 90% of the women I found this time are homeless refugees. There are only a very small number of people who come from abnormal roads, but even these very few people are not stained with blood. Many of them are voluntary, and they can do whatever they want. Liamong threw off his cape with satisfaction. No matter how ugly you are, you must fall in love, and let the world be full of love. Aha, I am really a good person, a good person. There are still 2 chapters in the evening, and the cloud is gradually feeling, and the state is recovering well. Text chapter 164 The woman who kills the door. This is the casino you built for me. Senjutsunade's eyes lit up at the 3-story giant building. Heihei168.com. Correct. Liamong shrugged with a very helpless expression. It's our casino. You can play in it as much as you like, but it's not yours. I'm afraid that one day you will be impulsive and even lose the casino. Am I that unreliable? Liamong didn't reply, staring at him with wide eyes. Tsunade pursed his chest angrily. Okay, brat, it's yours. But tell me, what are those women doing cheating? Sister Tsunade, if there is black or white in the world, don't be too concerned about it. Porn gambles on drugs. If you have gambling, you can't be yellow, and if you have money, you can't have sex. They are all voluntary, and I didn't force anyone. Bastard, are you running a casino or a construction institute? Liamong licked his ears and curled his lips innocently. You can treat it as anything, casino, nightclub, technical institute, whatever it is, I only know it's called Las Vegas. Lassie, what kind of rude name is this? Oh, the high-selling one. You are still a legendary fat sheep. You don't know that. Don't worry, this name will definitely be resounding throughout the world. Version of Lassie built by the flamboyant leader in 2 weeks. Garth, it's like bringing hell to the world. And this is just the beginning. The wind direction of Taoyuan Street has gradually changed. There are peach blossoms all over the sky, elegant clubs, and fallen paradise. Only what you can't think of, nothing you can't find here. When Las Vegas officially opened, all the attendees went crazy. The bastard's head is not easy to use, but he can plagiarize. A grand banquet, a simple dance, and a scale of 10,000 people do not need to be gorgeous or difficult, just need a lot of people. 10,000 women, 10,000 beautiful women in high-heeled sandals, stockings, and hot shorts danced together. Oh sell high, let this world go completely depraved and crazy. Come on sen, gentlemen, come on, ladies, welcome everyone to the opening ceremony of Las Vegas Casino, where you will enjoy imperial treatment. As long as you have money, you can become a god. Look at these girls, look at these games, look at these houses, what are you waiting for? Dash in with your money. All kinds of masks, all kinds of costumes. Liuman's small suggestion tore off the disguise of the big men. Putting a mask on his face, he thought he was confused, and who knows who is who. You don't know everything when you meet. Here you can meet a lady you can't meet before, and you can meet a big man you can't meet before. Dressed in bizarre costumes and masks of Madara Lan, they staged a degenerate comedy on the dance floor and on the wine table. I really am a genius. He boasted that he lifted the high-footed crystal glass, and smugly sipped the iced wine. Boss, what about the money you promised me? Don't worry, you will definitely not be missing. Of course, he couldn't find 10,000 beautiful women in a short period of time, all thanks to Naruto. It's just money, little kiss. Want to have more Ichiraku ramen? Want to have some endless money? Then turn me into a woman. 3 days ago, Liamong's promise was fulfilled on the spot. Looking at the box of banknotes Naruto held in his hand, Yamato asked with a sweat on his forehead, how is the investigation of the caravan? We can't stay here any longer. Quote. Oh, you said that, Eagle, where did you die, Eagle? Boss, did you call me? Eagle trotted over. Liamong took a cherry and asked, how's the investigation? Ying glanced at Yamato and coughed dryly. Our people have heard about the attack on the ninja Takian village by the caravan of the Country of Fire, but the exact whereabouts have not been found, and they have not been sold to us. But as long as there is news on the road, we will know for sure. Quote. Captain Yamato, I'm sorry. Liamong lifted the glass apologetically. It's not that our army doesn't work hard, but the enemy is too cunning, and I can't do anything about the caravan. Then we'll take our leave. Captain Yamato. Let's go. He grabbed Naruto and the worried Haruno Sakura next to him and left, watching their backs go away with a radiant smile. Boss, that guy seems to be suspicious of something. The eagle turned the ring worriedly. It doesn't matter. Liamong put the wine glass on the table. If there is no doubt, there is a problem, but if he doubts it again, what can he find out? People are dead, and corpses are destroyed. No matter how amazing the ninjas are, Liamong doesn't believe that they can go back in time. Just let all that be buried in the past. I'm a good man. Brother. Stinky boy. Fu-kun. Why are you here? Liamong turned his head back in astonishment. Hinata's little secretary twisted his fingers shyly. Enko puffed out his cheeks angrily, and Tamari was gentle like a beauty. But there's something wrong with this atmosphere. If we don't come again, I still don't know what kind of shit you can make. Say, what are you doing with all these women? Enko bit Silver Kiba angrily, his fire-breathing eyeballs blazing fiercely. The top of Liamong's forehead was covered in cold sweat. Listen to me, you really can't blame me for this. The dead Taoist friend was not dead and the poor road pointed not far away. The 3 women looked over and shouted and killed one after another. 30,000. 7 barrels. Hurrah. That's Tsunade-sama. As you can see, this casino is for the prodigal women, and it really has nothing to do with me. What about these women? Enko couldn't be fooled. It's true that Lord Tsunade likes to gamble, but don't tell me she made these women too. Service, these are services. That's how they serve. Enko pointed to a certain girl who was hanging on someone else's body, with a pretty face ashen. Liamong couldn't explain it. The woman who beat her into a vixen had 2 furry ears on her head and a fiery Yuhi-colored foxtail on her butt. She only had 2 blue veils wrapped around important parts. It doesn't look like a serious woman. Lu Meng don't speak. Enko grabbed the handle and pulled his arm away. The eyes of the men coming directly lit up, and just as they were about to say hello, they were dragged into the corner by a big man who appeared out of nowhere. You, what are you doing? In the future, there will be some bright spots. Some people are not for you to touch. The big men watching the scene don't want to lose their jobs. That's the boss of the boss's boss, who provokes others and has to lose his job. Pulling and dragging revolving heaven all the way to drive people away, Enko suddenly turned around with a smile. Stinky boy, am I pretty? Pretty, how dare Lu Meng say nothing? Enko put his hand on his thigh, 2 soft balls jumped out and half pulled, then how am I in shape? Okay. Liamong nodded madly, his toes nodded unconsciously. Since I'm pretty and have a good figure. Then tell me, why are you recruiting those women? The fierce face revealed and pinched his waist. Enko's bulging cheeks were like 2 small steamed buns. Liamong smacked his lips and said hesitantly, that is all work needs. Besides, those women were not recruited for me. When you went, didn't I also hug one? Okay, so you still want to hug? No, I didn't think. Then what do you think? Enko approached step by step, 2 big watery eyes staring round. And stepped back. He took a step back. Enko took a step back. He took a step back. Enko took a step forward, and the 2 of them retreated to the corner of the wall before they stopped. Sister Enko. I know it's my sister at this time. What did you think when you saw those women? Staring at the radiant appearance, Enko held his forehead viciously. Just when Liamong thought there was going to be a bloody conflict, dripping tears fell on his chest. Yuhi, Sister Enko, why are you crying? I didn't cry. Who did? Enko wiped away his tears, raised his fist and hit Liamong's chest. I beat you to death. Tamari and I are working hard at home, trying to make you came out to accompany Hinata. You are good. There are a whole bunch of women. One is not enough. There are a whole group. There are thousands. Tell me, what do you want to do? I really didn't want to do anything. Liamong stretched out his hand with both headache and distress, and was beaten back without wiping his tears, scratching his head in desperation. Sister Enko, I really didn't have anything to do with those women. What? I want them to get some customers. Besides, it's a good thing, right? They're homeless people, and I'm doing a good job by giving them a way out. There's no other plan, I promise. Really, you really don't have any other thoughts? Enko wiped away his tears and smirked in disbelief. Liamong nodded vigorously. Really, it's more real than real gold. Then take your pants off. What? Liamong suddenly became stupid. I said, take your pants off. Sister Enko, this is not good, in broad daylight. Can you take it off? I'll take it off, I'll take it off. Can the big men let a little girl control them? The spring breeze is blowing, the drums of war are beating, and whoever is afraid of dragging his pants down. Off his pants and grinned happily, not seeing the weirdness in Mitarashi Enko's eyes at all. Things seem to be going in some weird direction. There is another chapter, please vote for your support. Text chapter 165 _ just a quick word. How can you guys do this? Brother, yes, I'm sorry. It's the first episode of the interesting academy. The shy Hinata was abducted by the giggling Enko before he finished speaking, and Tamari's big black and white eyes also followed behind. Liamong was stunned in place, and the little Liamong standing high below wanted to cry without tears. This is Kai Gugwo's molesting. Mitarashi Enko, you have lost your conscience, don't play like this. On the border of the land of fire, there was a handsome pot sitting outside a public toilet. Shuaiguo looked up at the sky in a depressing way. God, why do you want me to have such a partner? Hidan turned his head in depression and glanced at the stinking WC. Deep in the secret door, 2 guys are trading. Have you had any high-paying assignments recently? Brother, maybe you should take a look at this. The bald head with an X-shaped scar on his right face flipped through the information and pulled out a copy. Added money. Oh, tails became tails, and the high price, which had doubled, instantly pierced through the heart. Okay, this is it. Kakuzu took the order and folded it and stuffed it into his chest. Then he flipped out the map and hit a big U-hex. He asked for a few bounties and walked out the door. The bald head who was packing up the information opened his mouth. Your 00 friend doesn't have money on his face. If you want to make a fortune, you'd better change someone. He really has nothing to do with money, but besides him, who else can partner with me? Kakuzu's zombie-colored eyes swept back. His bald head trembled. I have a bad temper. He likes to kill on impulse. I used to kill all the ones I formed with me before, but this one is different. I can't kill him at all. Leaving behind a shocking and inexplicable task issuer, he walked out of the toilet and looked towards the steps with a foul-smelling Kakuzu on his face. Hearing the sound from behind, Hidan crooked his neck and stood up straight. Why do you always come to such a ghost place every time? The great evil god is above. Do you know how stinky this place is? Smelly is a bit stinky, but it can bring money. Kakuzu closed his eyes. His companion, nothing in the world is eternal, but money is infinite. Use a limited time to pursue infinite money. You don't. Do you find it interesting? My whole life is dedicated to the evil god. If I can't kill you, I really want to kill you. Ha, how can you say that? We're good friends. Hidan smiled heartily and put the scythe behind him. Where are we going next? In a place like this that smells of corpse and urine, I don't want to stay for a moment. Finish the tasks sent by the organization first, and then go to the Temple of Fire. Night, slightly cool, windy, no rain, cloudy. The two-tailed man Jinchuriki, column Li Mei's eyes condensed slightly after being forced into the underground pipe. Get rid of him quickly. Wait, I have to say a prayer first. Can't you omit that troublesome thing? I also know the trouble. It's the first time in the interesting academy. Hidan took off the necklace from his neck, and glared at his companion angrily, but no matter how troublesome it is, I have to do it, and the rules must be strictly followed. Then can't you be a little bit shorter? Kakuzu tilted his head in disgust. What is abbreviated? Hidan shouted in dissatisfaction. That is blasphemous behavior, and will be blamed by the evil god. All right, it won't take long. The woman opposite, or let's have a discussion. Negotiation? What negotiation? Why don't you just get your hands on it and go with us? It will save you trouble. Humph. Do you really think you've caught me? I should have caught you. Drink. What? Yugito, who had made plans for a long time, smiled and said, I'm not afraid of you running away now. Wow, the hole is blocked. But it saves a lot of trouble. The person I hate the most is this kind of talkative guy. Whenever I meet this kind of person, my head likes to be bloodshot, and the blood is congested. I will. Enough, Hidan. Don't forget the mission. Let the mission go to hell. Just killing her is not in line with the teachings of the heretic god. Let me kill her. Kakuzu looked at his companion's frenzied look. His nose was so dangling. He was angry, and Yugito was even more angry. Whoever speaks big will know right away. I'm the second best in Kumogakure village. His body, and the two-tailed Jinchuriki column force, who had completed his transformation in a blink of an eye, shot out a fireball. Hidan Kakuzu was Sparta at the time. Complete body-tailed beast transformation. Hey, come and help, I can't handle her myself. Give me money. Give money. Yes, give me the money. We are partners. The partner has to pay too. You. It was you who said that joining the heretic god sect would bring money, so I agreed to partner with you. If you don't have money, don't think of me helping. Kakuzu, let's discuss. Have you two had enough? A huge fireball erupted. Hidan agreed to Kakuzu's request. Okay, I promise you. Money, you know money, the big deal will help you kill 2 more people. Sweden, water style, water curtain. Raiden, thunder style, false darkness. Get on quickly. Ha ha. The great evil god give me strength, I am the unbeatable Ultraman. Hidan with his scythe looks crazy. What the hell is that? Ghost thing, this is the trial of the evil god. Incantation death by blood. Ha 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 ha. The religious lunatic is at it again. Kakuzu looked bored and sat down in a corner, and started to order some money out of habit. 1 minute. 10 minutes. 30 minutes. Of Kakuzu's character of dying for money, he couldn't bear it. Can't you do your rituals at one time? You do it at the beginning, and you do it after the end, and it takes so long each time. Do you know that wasting time is equivalent to wasting life? Although our lives are infinite, but waste is always bad behavior. Quote. Do you think I think, this is the rule of the evil gods? Fake. Let the rules die. One person and one Colt fire snake pistol entered the country of fire, and the three sons waved the banknotes in one hand and fists in the other, and launched an attack on the bottom gangsters brazenly. There is a famous illegitimate child in the foreground, and Liamong, the gangster, is supporting in the background, and the third son is like a weasel who got into the chicken coop, sweeping away without restraint. Paying the money, what are you doing with all the money? We charge protection fees, not robbery. Accountant, where is the accountant? Come over quickly and figure out how much she should pay for this shop. With one hand, he slapped the table in anger, and the third son slapped the gun on the counter. Standing beside the chair, Yuhi, a little girl about 5 or 6 years old, looked at him angrily. Damn, don't steal your mother's money. Ha, little girl, I'm not a big bad guy, I'm a good person, a good person. You pay, I will protect you, and whoever bullies you will report my name in the future. Put the money down. Who? Suddenly turning around and looking behind, third young master's eyes stood up. The diners who made a sound did not raise their eyes, and the sheathed long knife on the table was extremely eye-catching. Third young master smiled, a swordsman or a ronin. Put the money down and get out, or else. Boom, boom. The crowd was terrified. Looking at the idiot lying on the dining table, the third son blew the muzzle. I found out, this store has to pay 150,000 taels a month. To collect the money, take this table's meals into account. We are all civilized people, and we don't do uncivilized things. This is a great grace, but that good friend taught me. Ha ha, yes, we are good friends, very, very good friend. I suddenly found out that I have fallen in love with this business. After receiving the money from the subordinates sent by the eagle, he ordered half of the money, and the third son turned around and walked towards the little girl. The proprietress cried and took the girl into her arms, her whole body trembling. Don't be afraid, you see your daughter is much stronger than you. Big bad guy, don't bully mom. The little girl held her head up stubbornly, and Yuhi's tender face was full of tears. Third young master paused, took half of the money, and finally thought about it and stuffed it all in. Take it, this is the loss of the store, I accompany you. You are a bad guy. The little girl took the money without any sign of gratitude. The money originally belonged to her mother. In the eyes of the little girl, there is no more hateful person in the world than the villain in front of her. The third young master stood there for a long time, then suddenly laughed and turned away, tears slipping from the corners of his eyes unknowingly. I'm a badass, I'm a big badass, haha, yes, I'm a badass. Go, guys, go to the next house. Holding a gun in one hand and robbery in the other, in just a few weeks, the gangsters who occupied the outer cities of the Fire Nation launched an operation to encircle the city from the countryside. They took the firearms and lightsabers provided by Liamong, and with a gang of at least 10 people and a maximum of hundreds of people, they unscrupulously opened up the territory. Those who obey me prosper, those who oppose me perish. The slogan that Liamong taught the third son on a whim was spread by the third son in every town he passed by, and it has a tendency to become more and more intense. Along with this hot gang action, there is also a vigorous Aegean promotional film. In order to make this big film, Liamong invited Santefu and his friends over, and there was a lot of jokes at that time. Those directors who took pictures with lighting were completely fooled by the movie to be shot. Master Kuchiki, what did you say? Shoot Avenue. The question that raised 8 pitches all at once was extremely harsh, and Liamong poked out his ears and nodded. Why are you shouting so loudly? Why don't you just shoot an AV? You're so excited. Not this. What is this? Don't want to shoot, can't shoot, or can't shoot. A box of banknotes was piled full on the desktop, and the paper that was not returned by Moxiong was full of endless embroidery puzzles. Liamong now likes the feeling of throwing money at people more and more. Look, there is no one in the world who cannot be moved by this thing. Master Deadwood, where did so many of us come from? In a word, whether to shoot or not to shoot, hurry up. The big men looked at each other, their throats wriggled up and down for a long time, and finally couldn't bear the embroidery and nodded, shoot. Good night, brothers and sisters are sleeping, don't be tired, rest early, and continue tomorrow. Text chapter 166_Unlucky Intruder. If you want to shoot well in AV, handsome guys and beauties are indispensable. Hey168.com. The third son, since you hate your 2 brothers so much, why don't you kidnap their wives to take videos? They're not my brothers, they're 2 beasts. The third son, who had just returned from occupying the outer city, roared a few words, and then his eyes brightened. But your idea is really good, I think those 2 beasts will like it very much. A love action movie by their wives. By the way, they seem to have 3 daughters. Quote. You're a real villain. Ha ha ha, yes, I'm a villain, they forced out. The third son wiped his tears with sadness and excitement. Master Kuchimu, you can call me Zaihua in the future, this is what my mother gave me. My name. Well, it has nothing to do with the name, I don't have a surname, only my first name, Zaihua. So Zaihua, what are you going to do next? Liamong lifted a golden oak wine glass, and the liquor inside Yan Yuhi was like blood. 180 years of collection, I really don't know what to drink, is this the so-called high-end people? Third young master took out the pistol from his arms and turned around. Of course, he will continue to grab the territory. Maybe he should think of a way to get those 2 beastly women out. I can't wait. Are you serious? If I can, I'm willing to perform it myself. Third young master contorted his face, and he could clearly see the anger in his pupils. Liamong shrugged his shoulders. Okay, do it as you want, you can ask Eagle for the manpower problem. Master Kuchiki, are we friends? Of course. Liamong put down his glass and stretched out his hand. We are very good friends. If we are not satisfied with the title of friend, we can still be brothers. You really don't care who I am, an illegitimate child. Aha, what's the big deal about illegitimate children? People can't pursue their origins, but we can pursue our own future, Lord of Fire Nation. Snapped. From today onwards, you are my brother. Zaihua, you are too polite. As you said, from today onwards, you are my younger brother. Ying, where have you died? Hurry up and prepare a sumptuous family feast for us. I want to share with me, have a good drink, brother. Maybe it was the hardships he suffered in childhood, or the oppression he suffered in childhood. The third young master felt very strange to Liamong. This is a poor bastard who needs the warmth and approval of others, just like he used to be. Let's toast to a better tomorrow. Tien Zikuni, the Underground Secret Research Institute. Yakushi Kabuto pushed the flat mirror and walked into the door. Master Orochimaru, Kuchiki Liamong recently opened a high-end club on Taoyuan Street, operating casinos and women. Hey, he's so busy, did you get those things back? It has been transported to the North Post, and can be anytime if needed. Wait, there are little bugs coming in. 3. The narrowed upside-down golden pupils flashed coldly, and Orochimaru raised the corners of his mouth grimly. Captain Yamato, are you sure you're heading in the wrong direction? In the dark underground channel, there is an oil lamp every 10 meters, and the dim light makes the dark channel even more gloomy. Sneaked in using Mokuden, wood style, looked around and nodded. it should be right here. Be careful from now on, we might run into that man. Don't worry, with me, I can definitely beat him. Shut up, you idiot. Sakura punched Naruto hard, with inexplicable sadness in his eyes. Uchiha Sasuke. In the dark room, the two Sharingan of Yuhi slowly rotated, looking at Yakushi Kabuto who pushed in the door. The second assistant didn't even move. Your old classmates are here, why don't you go out and meet them? I'm not in the mood to waste time on this kind of frivolity. What about the Orochimaru people? It's time for training. You should be respectful to adults. Kabuto, Sasuke said coldly, do you want to die? The violent murderous intent shot through the air through Yuhi's Sharingan. Yakushi Kabuto saw the sweat on his forehead and was speechless. He pushed open the door for a long time and left. The adults in this place have decided to give up. It's up to you and your two companions to see you or not. HMPH, before I leave, I'll have a good look at them, so I can have a good time. In a white kimono, with a hemp rope tied around his waist, Ursukoku pinned a sharp blade to his waist with a half-exposed chest. In 3 years, many people have improved, and he is no exception. Naruto, someone is coming. The hurried footsteps stopped, and the 3 people who sneaked into the snake's nest swallowed their saliva. Who is it? Will it be Sasuke? Before I saw him, I heard his voice first, and the cold and terrifying aura flooded over like a tide. Great Orochimaru. Fast back. Yamato Tianzang's exclamation blurted out, and a pale-faced man appeared in front of him. Damn, give Sasuke back to me. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. Swish swish darts slashed through the air like a rain of pear blossoms, and Orochimaru stood there without moving. The shuriken shot into the air, and there was not even a ghost in the empty underground passage, as if everything just now was an illusion. Orochimaru. Naruto looked back and forth angrily, but no matter how many times he turned around, he still couldn't find anyone. Tianzang is chilling, Haruno Sakura is numb, it takes more than courage to face Sannin. Suddenly, slag fell from the underground gully, and the smashing sand and stones quickly slid through the gaps in the roof. Run, this place is going to collapse. Uzumaki Naruto, who wanted to continue searching, was knocked off by Haruno Sakura and rushed out. Go quickly. Mokuden wood style 4-pillar prison technique. Separated a wooden avatar and used the ninja technique to support the wall, and Yamato Tianzang's face was covered in cold sweat. It's easy to get in and out, but it's not as easy as you think to escape in the underground tunnel that keeps shaking and collapsing. Naruto, Sakura is dying. Rasengan. Open to me. Shadow Clone opened the way, and the real body followed. In order not to be buried alive, all 3 of them had their hands cut off, and the detonating charm in Haruno Sakura's hand was thrown away like no money. Blow up, you idiot, do you want to bury us both alive? Shut up, there's no time to make a fuss now. The first update today, the cloud is working hard. Text chapter 167_ the animals that exploded the nest. The rumbling house collapsed, and the large area of collapsed soil, along with the vegetation on the ground, was also swept in. Many homeless animals rushed out. They jumped their feet and cursed at their mothers. Interesting Academy ran timidly, roaring daringly, and 2 silly and daring gray mice danced their fists. I must kill them. I must kill these hateful humans. Yes, definitely kill them. Look, I even have weapons ready. Pick up a branch nearby and dance. Let's dance, the fatter gray rat squeaked. Look at it when you are thinner, and then look at the smoke that has not dissipated, and suddenly wipe your body and run away. Hey, what are you doing? You wait, I'll go home and get the weapon. Go home, isn't the home destroyed? Orochimaru, I'm going to kill you. The straight and accustomed destruction of the dead light brazenly blasted the collapsed soil, and the Naruto who was rolled out by Sakura Yamato fell to the ground. The 2 tall dancers behind him danced back and forth, and the smoke and dust could not hide their arrogance. Looks like I got into a lot of trouble hiss. Long enough to stick out pervert, tongue and lick it back and forth, Orochimaru narrowed his dark golden snake pupils. Kabuto, who was standing in a dark corner, pushed his glasses and rushed up with a few dots under his feet. Solve one first. Get out of here. The two raised tails were thrown out horizontally, and Yakushi Kabuto's eyes widened instantly in midair. The hands crossed on his chest did not play any defensive role, and flew out like cannonballs, just like swatting flies in the summer. 2. The gray rat with the branch in his hands staggered twice. Damn, what the hell is that? I'm quitting. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Go aim at him. The branch held in its small claws was thrown into the sky and ran back, and the gray rat squeaked and got into the ruins from Yakushi Kabuto's side. Can't even a single blow be blocked. This is the tailed beast pursued by all countries, and it is indeed a war machine. Where's Sasuke? Orochimaru, tell me, where is Sasuke? QB, Nine-Tails kid, the tone of your voice is really annoying. I'll make you even more upset. Tell me, where is Sasuke? Saying no to the sword, Naruto didn't have a sword in his hand, but Naruto had a demon fox coat on his body. The chakra claws suddenly stretched and jumped out, and Orochimaru's pupils shrank to the extreme. The crazy war begins. Shadow Snake Hand. Raising his right arm hand to claws, the jet black python spreads its claws and dances its claws towards the arm. Orochimaru. Not good. With one hand caught in the other, Naruto, whose third tail burst out, sprinted. Knowing that it would be troublesome if he didn't make a decision, Orochimaru opened his mouth and drilled out a wet new body, and slid out against the ground like a real snake. Orochimaru's style substitute. Uzumaki Naruto, who had two claws in the air, was furious and opened Shadow Clone. Countless fire yuhi stood in all directions, Orochimaru hissed, and in his open mouth, countless poisonous snakes merged into an ocean. This is the real ocean, an ocean of countless venomous snakes. Sakura Yamato, who couldn't get in at all, was stunned. Is that Naruto? Hee hee. Sakura. A sudden, soft cry rang into his ears, and Haruno Sakura was completely frozen in place. Depressed Lin Feng rustled the leaves, and the girl who slowly looked back was wet with tears. The sky and the earth are far apart, and the rain connects them together. No contact needed, just the whispers of the wind and thunder. Heaven can understand, because it looks down and contains everything about him. The earth understands the sky because it carries and supports what is not his. Looking back in love, the girl's tears flowed like Izumi. How have you been all these years? Sakura, you shouldn't have come. Sasuke me. Sakura raised her head, looking at the familiar yet unfamiliar figure. Her heart was broken. Why is this still the case? Sasuke, come back with me. I'm going to ask Lord Jiraiya. He's sure he won't pursue the past. And Naruto, he's the son of the fourth generation of Hokage, and he's here. Hee, Sakura, you are too naive. Sasuke's eyes flashed across the battlefield, with an inexplicable emotion in his eyes. I won't go back, for me there is only hatred in that place. But you can't be here either. Sakura cried, wiping her tears. Master Jiraiya said, Orochimaru wants your body, you can't stay here. Only incompetent people are afraid of the prying eyes of others. Sasuke raised his head proudly and looked at the sky. You don't understand the matter between me and Orochimaru. If he can really get my body, let him get it. All right. Even if the snake on the ground is dreaming of flying, it is just an illusion in the end. I have never been afraid of him. I am me, Uchiha Sasuke. The backhand ignited the lightning and plunged into the ground. The second assistant, Yuhi's Sharingan, was full of sarcasm, want to sneak attack. In front of these cursed eyes, put away your child's tricks. Captain Yamato. Kiki covered the injured chest and surfaced. Yamato Tianzang stared solemnly at the azure blue thunderlight. The form changes, to actually be able to change the form of the violent thunder chakra. This young man's talent is too terrifying. But it is precisely because it is terrible that I cannot continue to let it go. Sakura, carry out Lord Hokage's orders and bring him back. Mokuten, wood style, Jo Jinchuriki, column prison technique. Boom, 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 boom. The wooden Jinchuriki column that stood up from the ground trapped people inside like a prison cell. Before Yamato Tenzo's excited expression appeared, it was replaced by endless panic. Chidori current katakana middle dot paddle slash. Like a thunderous slash across the sky, it broke all the standing tree poles, and the unabated streamer slashed everything. If all the animals in the big forest exploded. Where did this lunatic come from? Oh my god, these humans are horrible. I want mom. Woohoo, these bad guys, they're all bad guys. Snot and Tears grabbed their tails and ran away, the animals' hearts were relieved. Curse these human beings to be sent by God, and let God blow them to death. I am not alive. There are still 2 chapters in the evening. Brothers and sisters, cheer up together. If you have votes, the cloud will thank you and ask for your support. Text Chapter 168_Love is not destined for life and death for causality. Just when Naruto Sasuke Orochimaru was destroying the forest of the land, our Liuman was not idle, he was giving a lesson to the younger brothers. Interesting academy. Listen to me, all the rubbish of you worms in society. Do you want to become a superior person? Do you want to be admired by the world? Do you want to get countless beauties and money? Then give me the training to the death, and don't complain. Don't be tired, I picked you out of the countless waste materials not to let you eat and die. Take these weapons, put on these armors, and from today, you will bring them to me when you sleep. I am confident that no one will disobey my orders. Yes, boss, they will definitely not violate it, I promise. Tienkin pointed a long sword at the crowd, and all the selected gangsters bowed their heads. They are afraid of Liamong, but there is a limit to what they are afraid of, because they are people from 2 worlds. But Tienkin is different. This guy with 2 missing legs is the real pervert. In his hands, it is happiness to die happily. My god, are we still alive in the days ahead? 5 kilometers jumping into the wild, now run it for me, if I fall behind, I'll cut off 2 pounds of his meat and drink it. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 raised their heads, and the gangsters who crossed guns and fought knives became soldiers. Although they can't stand in the military position now, although they can't shout slogans now, this does not prevent them from working hard. Brother, what's the use of training these people? Third young master raised his gun in puzzlement, looking at the gangsters who were far away, a little puzzled. Don't underestimate them. Liamong turned his head and said, it takes less than a month for a gangster to become a soldier, and it takes less than a year to train as an elite. It's different when you become a ninja, a genin, even if you are a junior. It takes 7 or 8 years to accompany you. How many bastards can we accompany you in this time? But their strength. I know that even the most profitable gangsters are gangsters. A chunin can kill countless people, and getting a jonin is a massacre. But also, at some point, they are even better than ninjas. Although they may not be able to beat jonin, but it's okay to team up to kill a chunin. How many jonin are there in a hidden village? With a sullen face, he raised his arms and made no secret of his madness. Give me an army of 50,000 gangsters, and I can conquer a country. Give me an army of 500,000 gangsters, and I can rule the entire world. Uchiha Madara, Uzumaki Nagato. Thinking of these pervert guys, Liamong's heart is on fire. If it wasn't for these guys with goldfish in their heads cringing, he would have taken his women to enjoy themselves. What he was aiming at, why are there so many lunatics in this world? Train up, train up. The gangsters selected from all over the country of fire gathered together, and the team of 10,000 people practiced for a month, and the remaining 3,000 were reduced from 7 to 8. However, what awaits them is not the end of happiness, but the beginning of suffering. Quick, 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 speed me up. Instructor, please, let's get some sleep, just get some sleep. Shut up, it's you don't have to eat today. Oh, no, instructor, do your best. We haven't slept for 3 days. If we don't sleep, we will collapse. Fart, you guys are going to collapse and you'll collapse. If you have the strength to complain, don't give me the strength to run quickly. It has always been a tradition in the barracks to impose on the new recruits 10 times the hardships they suffered when they were recruits. Why do veterans like to bully new recruits? Because they have been bullied before. Look at what a fine tradition this is, it's so powerful. God, the devil. Kill me, I am dead. Who can help me? 1, 2, 3, and 4 are screaming for days, and the gangsters who are shaking when they walk are crying for their fathers and mothers. I want to sleep, I must sleep, oh. Don't hit, instructor, I don't dare, I really don't dare. 2 pieces of meat were scraped from the buttocks and he rushed forward frantically, and the gangster with the broken thoughts rushed to the front like a dog chasing a mouse. The old bastard who was dancing with the whip was proud. You bastards are the ones who need to clean up, bah. Hurry up, run for lousy, whoever dares to stop, I will kill him. Snapped, snapped, 2 crisp sounds exploded in the air. Looking at the blood-stained leather whip, the gangsters all dared to be angry and took big strides. If it weren't for the lack of bullets in the gun, if it weren't for the fact that the old bastard had too much interest, they would have ripped him to pieces. After the grandfathers are trained, we will play 8 of such instructors each. With a belly full of ambition, the gangsters squatted down unexpectedly. It was only when they were almost capable and ambitious that they suddenly found out that the soft-shelled instructor had changed weapons. From the cowhide whip that was originally twisted with steel wire, it was replaced by a laser sword that could kill at the touch of a switch. Gangsters bit Kiba and gnashed their teeth for a long time, but in the end they didn't dare to try their best. He aimed at it, it was really bullying. Sample, you are also worthy of fighting with me. Who am I? I am Tokugawa's 5 major thunders, thick fat eggs, and 2 lightning mines. God, why didn't you kill him with a divine thunder? Hack him to death. The resentment of countless gangster recruits became a sea, and the old gangsters with big snot bubbles counted cotton sheep. The water and the sky are a line, the blue sea is connected, and the shock wave that is used to the pines and cypresses penetrates everything. Triple Rashomon. Virtual dog cannon. With his head held high, he blasted the tailed beast bomb out, and the 4-tailed Uzumaki Naruto was full of blood, yuhi, and murderous intent overflowed from his 2 hideous beast pupils. Orochimaru, who was almost killed by the blast, lay on the ground and spat out the grassy sword little by little. What a scary Kyuubi, 9-tails kid, looks like we're going to have to play some real tricks. Array of 10,000 snakes. Countless Madara venomous snakes rotated and climbed high to form a spire, and the Orochimaru buried in the snake pile quickly hand seal. Futon, wind style, Daitapa, great breakthrough. Kaden, fire style, fire dragon, fire bullet. Wind and fire turn to me. As the head of Sannin, as the most proud disciple of the 3 generations of Hokage, a lunatic who aspires to pursue all ninjutsu in the world of master, Orochimaru's abilities are not as simple as they appear. Naruto Uzumaki is out of luck, and it's also thanks to him that he is a Jinchuriki column force from Kyuubi, 9-tails. Naruto. Sakura, it's not good to be distracted in battle. Is that right? The old lady doesn't think so. Outside, Sakura was attracted by the battle in the distance, while Sakura was still on guard, and Sasuke's sneak attack had no effect. We are 2. Lee Sakura, who raised her fists vigorously, laughed and jumped up and down. After regaining her senses, Sakura wiped away her tears and took Kuwu in her hands. Sasuke, no matter what, I must take you back. Sakura, you don't have this strength, even if you add that stinky mouse in hiding. Don't bother me again. Millennium Flow Chidori Sharp Spear. The sudden electric light suddenly pierced the tree pole. Yamato Tianzang lowered his head sluggishly, stared at the pierced chest and started stupid. How did he find me? Oh my gosh, that man is horrible. Let's go home quickly. Squeak and run quickly. The departure of the 2 little squirrels did not change Yamato Tianzang's predicament in the slightest. Sakura screamed at the captain and attacked Sasuke. But a ray of light shattered all hope. Sakura, the gap between us is too big, you have no chance of winning. Leave, or die. The sword light that cut off the kunai burst into electric sparks, and the sharp blade pointed at the throat of the smoke pierced the girl's heart. Haruno Sakura burst into tears, the tears dripping down as soon as she said it. What are you crazy man trying to do? Get away and let me die. The body that was struggling to fall forward greeted death with a smile, and Sakura looked at Sasuke with a smile. Since you can't follow you around, keep yourself in your heart forever. My love, please remember me. Even if you don't like it, remember that there is such a girl who once liked you and she is willing to give everything for you. Fool, big fool, you lunatic. I'm not crazy, I'm chasing my true love. An instant or an eternity. The sharp blade stained with tears trembled slightly, and Haruno Sakura smiled. Take her away. Chidori's sharp spear extended from the index finger pulled back and Sasuke threw the hair back and walked away. Yamato Tianzang swallowed stupidly, and his numb body slowly softened. If it wasn't for Mokutan Wood's high resilience, he would have died just now. Is your business done? Nodding slightly, he looked back slowly, and Sasuke, who turned his back to Naruto, turned his head. The four-tailed Uzumaki Naruto was stunned. Sasuke, you. Don't bother me again in the future, we are not from the same world. Go back and be your fourth generation son and go after your ridiculous dream. Asshole, you. Orochimaru, we should go. The figure that dissipated the nothingness turned into stars from underfoot like a burning flame, and Sasuke Uchiha walked very gracefully. Uzumaki Naruto is furious. Damn it, you bastard. Is Sasuke an asshole? Sakura Haruno, who was half squatting on the ground to heal Yamato Tenzo, silently wept while performing medical ninjutsu. The two spirits inside and outside were silent, and even Lee Sakura, who was usually irritable, became unhappy. Somehow, Sakura suddenly remembered a legend Yuhi-sensei once told. The other shore flower blooms for 1,000 years, falls for 1,000 years, and the flowers and leaves will never meet. Love is not causal, edge destined to death. Sasuke, is there a future between us? Although it is not very smooth, this chapter is very satisfactory. I haven't felt this way for a long time. Brothers and sisters, cheer up together. The state of the cloud is gradually recovering. Ha 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 ha, I am in a good mood. Finally, shamelessly ask for a monthly ticket. Text chapter 169 _ find a monk at your door. This is the Temple of Fire. Hidan was standing in front of the tall temple with a face full of XYZ, and it was not pleasing to the eye how to look at this thing. Interesting academy. How about smashing it? Earth, Master Delu is not good. Seal the iron wall, seal the iron wall. What happened to the sealed iron wall? Slowly withdrawing his right fist and stepping on the fallen iron gate, he walked into the Temple of Monks. Kakuzu's zombie-colored pupils revealed a light called excitement. Breaking the widow's door and digging the bachelor's grave, he has done enough bad things in his life, and this time is not bad. Besides, this temple is really ugly. There are two statues at the entrance, the mouth of a catfish with a big long nose, and the legs of a toad with a straw belly. At first glance, it looks flat. Hey man, are we really going to do this? Hidan looked at Kakuzu with a weird expression on his face. You don't really want to trade that monk for money, it's going to hell. Don't worry, even if you are sentenced in hell, money will still work. Can you not mention the money? If you don't believe in cults, I won't mention any more money. Forget it, when I owe you. You already owe me. Okay, I owe you. Hidan said 3 good words in a row and tilted his head, and a large group of monks came running from a distance. It is born with a sub-golden steel phase. Yo, here comes a great monk. Not only did he get an eminent monk, but he was also a valuable eminent monk. Kakuzu explained excitedly, this guy is the former 12 soldiers of the Kingdom of Fire, and now the reward is tails. Longer the price. He has been asking for money all the year round, but Hidan just doesn't want to know the market. Kakuzu nodded his head. I don't know which guy became interested in him some time ago and doubled the price. This is a good deal for me. Is he easy to deal with? Compared to the price, this is the case. Kakuzu pondered for a while, but be careful, this temple and the monks in this temple are not simple, they are made of immortals. Is that a god-horse thing? A very strange constitution, you can think of it as a bloodline. Be careful, let's go. Nagging, I will dedicate him to Lord Cthulhu, all infidels should be damned. The Xiaoyu Samsung scythe, which was dragging the ground, brought up a large piece of dust, and without saying a word, Delu retreated his right foot, and placed his feet in parallel, with his left palm down and his right palm up. Come to meet Senju Kill. Appeared, Master Delu's trick. Kill them, Master Delu is invincible. Long live Master Earth. Master of the land. Are these really monks? 10,000 feet of golden light rises from the ground, and the Buddha's sound bursts. Anyone who sings and sings, the Senju Guanyin with a height of more than 10 meters appears out of thin air. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Kakuzu Hidan narrowed his eyes together. Kill. Dozens of golden light fists were swung out, the ground and the land were like a mighty prison. The eyes were like a diamond, and the serious face was like an arhat in the world. This thing is not easy to handle. Hidan turned to Kakuzu after a few consecutive turns. It's worth it just because it's hard to do. I feel like I've been with me on this business. Stop talking nonsense, you are right and left, and solve him. It's useless. For Master Delu, the defense has no dead ends, and the attack is the same. They are definitely not the opponents of the Land Masters. These guys are so annoying. Hidan glanced at the chattering bald head. Then kill them first. That's a good idea. The Evil Moon 3-star sickle with a telescopic long rope wrapped around the end was thrown out, and Hidan rushed towards the monks. Wow, look at these stinky bald heads, they're all fucking heretics. Presumptuous Senju Kill. Lord Delu. Hidan didn't even turn his head back when the golden light fist flying in the sky attacked his back. The mad slaughter began. Quack, kill me. The left sickle slashed 2, the right sickle slashed 3, and Hidan, who was hard against the light fist, set off a storm of blood and blood. Just in the time when the Temple of Fire was bad luck, the beginning of the Surging Man was also worried. Hinata, you really made a plan. Brother, Hinata is causing you trouble. With a long exhalation, he wiped his nose with a sullen breath, and Liuman nodded in agreement with the little secretary's request. Just practice, although it is a bit distressing, but it is still necessary to increase the strength of your own woman. I'll come too. And me. Seeing Liamong agree to Hinata's request, Enko Tamari also ran over to join in the fun. The bastard was Spartan at the time. Do you need this? Of course. Can it be wrong? All right, I'll listen to you. If you want to improve your strength in a short period of time, you must have extraordinary perseverance in addition to extraordinary talents. Hinata and the others are not lacking. But Liamong didn't want his woman to suffer too much, so some crooked thoughts arose. Maybe we can. Smart people practice twice the result with half the effort, and 205 practice achieve twice the result with half the effort. What can a man with a belly full of bad water come up with? Of course, it's a wicked, smoking trick with a corner. Hinata went into the water to practice boxing, and realized the changes in the water flow. I believe he can understand a lot of things. Sister Enko, let's practice physique. There's nothing good in a short period of time, maybe you can practice swordsmanship. What about me? Come with me. Liamong pulled Tamari to the side, took the Samsung fan into his hand, and picked up the material from his backpack. While busy, he explained, there are 4 attributes in enchanting magic, which are ice, fire, light and dark. Wind and fire are intertwined. If you add fire magic, it should be able to improve a lot of power. If you enchant ice, it should be able to enhance control. I have not tried the other two. Don't know how it turns out. Let's try them one by one now and pick the best one. Husband-kun, we've been married for almost 3 years, right? Tamari suddenly asked a mindless question. Liamong nodded subconsciously. The beautiful Princess Sunagakure was angry, fierce like a resentful woman who hadn't seen her husband in 800 years. If that's the case, why do you only remember now? This, Liamong blinked. Tamari's smile grew brighter and brighter, making his scalp tingle. Then what? I suddenly have a stomach ache. Really? Well, of course it's true. You don't mean to run, do you? I'm not running, I just want to go to the toilet. Wait, I'll be right back, right now. Futon, wind style. Stop. The body that ran out of 2 steps turned back helplessly, and Liamong looked at the smiling Tamari and retreated. God, can't really blame me for this. There has been no war in the 3 years, and it will be forgotten if it comes and goes. Besides, your equipment is not lacking, and the weapons are not too much. God, isn't this killing people? Biting his head and leaning forward, he bowed his head brightly, knowing that he had made a mistake. Tamari put the fan on the table without saying a word, and stood there watching with tears in his eyes. Liamong's heart was broken all of a sudden, and he apologized and accompanied him, but it didn't work for a long time. Then what? Let's not be angry, okay? Not good. Tamari Yuhi stared, and his mouth pouted. Liamong stretched out his hand and wiped away his tears. Dear me, I know I'm wrong. You can see that this can be hung on an oil bottle. You only hang the oil bottle. Okay, I'll hang the oil bottle. I can't hang the oil bottle. Liamong said that he really put a glass bottle to his mouth. Tamari held his face for a long time, and finally failed to hold it. Laughing. What are you laughing at? Don't hurry to work. Well, work, do it now, work hard. He walked slowly to his side and wrapped his arms around his waist. Liamong twitched slightly, and Tamari's pretty face was Yuhi in an instant. Not crying, not angry, turned Byakugan angrily. Of fire, Konoha hidden village, 2 bald heads rushed through the gate in a panic. Lord Hokage is not good. What's the matter? The Temple of Fire has been attacked. Boom. Speak clearly. Raise your arms to wipe the stinky sweat, and the 2 monks explained things clearly. Jiraiya folded her hands and squinted her eyes. After a long time, she instructed her subordinates, go and call Sarutobi Asuma. A large watermelon, divided into 2 halves in the middle, half for you and half for him. How killed most of Choji himself and wiped his mouth. The face of the lifted cake was covered in water stains, and there were 2 black seeds hanging from Yuhi's juice. Ino couldn't stand it and flipped Byakugan. You can't eat more civilized. It's refreshing to eat like this. Cool your big head. If you don't believe me, try it, it's really cool. Go on yourself. Ino looked away frantically and turned to look beside him. Mr. Asuma, what is that piece of cloth around your waist for? You ask this. Yeah, Ino nodded, always wondering about this apron with fire characters on it. It's so weird for a big man to surround such a thing. Asuma took out a cigarette and flicked on the lighter. While harming the flowers, he blew a smoke ring and explained slowly. After listening to the story, Ino Choji Shikamaru was amazed. 12 warriors of the Land of Fire, so, Asuma-sensei is very beneficial. Of course. We've actually been taking you very seriously. That is, no matter how you look like, you don't look like a stakeholder. Hey, what's your expression like? Is the teacher bad in your eyes? A little bit. Ino folded his hands and shrank back. Choji is sitting there nodding his head. Shikamaru also tilted his head. Asuma became Spartan in an instant, and before he could finish feeling depressed, he rushed in a hurry. Brothers and sisters, the cloud worked hard. Going to the hospital tomorrow for a good checkup. I don't feel like something is right. This cold has been getting stronger, but it's not getting better, and it's annoying. Text chapter 170 _ small steel cannon nesting in the grass. The land is dead. The cigarette in his mouth slowly slipped and fell to the ground. Yuhi's cigarette butt splashed far and wide. Sarutobi Asuma froze. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Shikamaru, give me a cigarette. Asuma teacher. I'm fine. Taking a deep breath with a cigarette in his mouth, Sarutobi Asuma got up and walked out the door. Shikamaru gave two companions a wink and followed behind. Choji Ino looked a little confused at each other. In Hokage's office, Jiraiya's gloomy face spreads his hands, and the two monks standing in the vacant seat are wiping sweat. A Pole mission, investigate the murderer of Akatsuki who killed the fire temple. Because the mission level may increase at any time, Sarutobi Asuma, Nara Shikamaru, Gangzati, Kamizuki Azumo form a pursuit team, focusing on their own safety. If they are not defeated, retreat immediately. I'll send a support team to follow later, and the four of you will set off immediately. Yes, Lord Hokage. Not daring to delay the order to leave for a moment, the temporary team evacuated by Funshidian rushed out of the gate of Konoha. Jiraiya opened the list of the remaining people who could still act, frowned, and ordered after a while, notify Kurenai Yuhi to cancel the vacation, and then call Yamashiro Aoba. In addition, Akamichi Choji and Yamanaka Ino will support the team for half an hour. Depart later. Quote. 2 consecutive teams of 8 people were dispatched, and Jiraiya looked at the ceiling and sighed. The position of Hokage is really exhausting. Why should I do such a troublesome thing when I am not idle all day long? Uzumaki Naruto, when will this brat grow up faster? Kakashi, this idiot, time has let him spend it on the dog. Turning over the report that Yamato Tenzo sent back, the lecherous immortal had the heart to kill Kakashi. Uchiha Sasuke, this is no small trouble. Baidu Interesting Academy is different from Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke's character is not affected by the will of fire at all. He is a complete family ist, or a character with a little name for his personal will. If it's just this one, it's fine. What's more, there is also a rotten tree. Kakashi Kakashi, you brought 4 students and 2 problem children, I really want to kill you. The old sow is idle and old, and when Jiraiya complains about others, she doesn't look in the mirror to see for herself. It seems that their lineage has been the best at producing bad guys from the very beginning. The first Hokage taught Shimura Danzo, the 3rd generation immortal taught Orochimaru, he himself taught Uzumaki Nagato, and Kakashi, the disciple and grandson, taught 2 problem children, Uchiha Sasuke and Kuchiki Ruming. Look, this is the inheritance of the will of fire. A whole family of young and old. Taoyuan Street, Paradise Club, Liamong pushed the news over the table, and the 3rd son took it and glanced at it, his eyes lit up. The Temple of Fire is over. Well, Akatsuki moved his hand, and Zen Master Jalu died in battle, and there are not many people left. Then next. Continue to grab the territory. Liamong chuckled, soldiers are made by fighting, not by practice. Tell the Shuangwa Yuhi sticks to act. Only God knows what will happen when 3,000 armed gangsters scatter all over the Fire Nation. Every one of these hooligans who had been trained for half a year was full of anger. Hearing that he was finally able to liberate, the mountain and tsunami blew up the nest immediately. I want women, I want marijuana, I want. Go away, I'm going to find a bathhouse and call Miss 17 or 18. Oh my God, I can finally get out of this hell. Yes, 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 I want to be called Miss. 17 or 18 are not enough. I want to call 100. 100, can you handle it? Depend on. Dare you doubt me? I suspect what's wrong with you. Even your little steel cannon lying in the grass can call 100. Don't wear it out for you. Ha 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 ha. Loud laughter shook the roof of the shed. the big guys have been training together for so long, who doesn't know who it is? As soon as the Jway brothers said that, the companions turned their eyes one after another. The much-anticipated gangster was furious. Shortness is called shrewdness, and condensed is the essence. What do you know? Yeah, short, condensed, you're absolutely right. Asshole. I'm going to kill you. A frenzy counts as a farewell, and the gangsters before leaving can't help but feel a little sad. He wrote it. You said that Lao Tzu has fallen into evil. Why do you still want to say goodbye to those demons? When you say that, I seem to be caught. Yeah, didn't we all change our minds about how to kill them in the past? You bastards, don't die when you go out. Instructor. Work hard, don't embarrass us, or do you want to clean up after you come back? After biting Kiba a little bit, the old bastards also knew that if they went out, they might not be able to come back. Thinking about what happened when the selection was made, the gangsters who had already become an army were all speechless. Boss, we are gangsters, not soldiers, so we don't need to be so ruthless, right? There are no gangsters here, only soldiers, and you will be soldiers in the future. If you don't do it, we don't want to be a soldier. Why don't you want to be a soldier? Being in the army is too dangerous, we are afraid of death. Very good, you are very courageous. Now you have two choices, either you die as soldiers, or I will kill you now. The old gangster who nearly paralyzed the old gangster grinned as he whipped his flesh to the bone. Are you still a soldier? When? Look, these are some scumbags. Scene after scene of memories of the past slipped through my heart, and the gangsters lowered their heads one after another. Sometimes the friendship between men is really unclear. Just a moment ago, I wished that the other party could drown in a horse gourd while walking at night, and the next moment I could block the hole for the other party's life. You bastards, don't piss on cats, don't embarrass the old men after you go out, and get out of here now. Glancing at Yuhi's eyes, the old gangsters turned and left the barracks. Pack up your gear and go. A Colt fire snake revolver, a piece of personal protective armor, and a copycat Thor sword. The gangsters who walked out of the barracks turned their heads and silently saluted and said goodbye to the barracks. For the first time, without anyone urging them to form a phalanx, they kicked up neatly and walked out. The old gangsters secretly stood in the corner watching. A little tear wet the ground. The country of fire is windy. Xiaoke pill, this medicine is much better after taking it. Hey, our ancestors still have a lot of good things. It's a pity that people don't appreciate it now. But think about it too, a Chinese medicine examination to check the pulse will do. As for Western medicine, a set of examinations is not enough without 1,800. Fools all know who makes money. People, their consciences are black. Text chapter 171_unreliable teacher. Quick, knock down all these sites, and before the official comes, all the disobedient ones will be killed, loaded into the car, and loaded into the car. It is more convenient to read on mobile phones m.heihei168.com. There is a clear division of labor, and there are people who kill people, people who take things, and people who kill people and load cars. Where have ordinary gangsters encountered this? When the official people who got the news arrived, the gangsters had already cleaned everything up and took a lot of banknotes. Who knows who is who? There is no problem here. As he spoke, he concealed a few large silver tickets, and all the problems were solved. Look, some things in the world are that simple. Well, there is no problem here. Close the team. Officials have the big heads, and soldiers have the small heads. The silver tickets that the gangsters put in are enough to turn all problems into non-problems. What on earth does he want to do? The eldest son and the second Duke of the Fire Nation's Daming Mansion frowned. Two things were placed on the table of their father, who is now the daimyo of the Land of Fire. A latest version of ABCD, a Colt fire snake revolver. Zaihua is getting worse and worse, but it doesn't matter, who made him have a bad background. Since he is willing to do those lousy things, let him do it, and he will not have this son. Well, This movie was really good. Whoever said that the upper-class people are elegant, secretly male thieves and female prostitutes are hundreds of times more than ordinary people. Daimyo picked up the CD and backed his hands, and walked into the bedroom in a big way. It didn't take long before a lingering voice came out. Oh baby, try harder and harder everything. Ah, I'm dying, hurry up, hurry up. Work hard. Go and call me a woman in. He opened the door and gave an order. Daming pulled off his collar and Yuhi's eyes. The servants stepped back without even daring to lift their head, and in half a bowl of tea, a woman was sent in. Interesting academy. The slutty life began. The eldest son and the second son looked at their father's house and launched a curse, cursing this old and shameless guy to end as soon as possible. How could he not die on a woman's belly? The two raised middle fingers gestured back and forth in my heart, and the eldest son and the second son also went back to the house to find the woman. While they were working hard, Asuma and his party came to the door of the fire temple. The dilapidated gate collapsed on both sides, the coffins all over the floor were placed one by one, and two monks, one old and one small, were full of sorrow. After Matsuri worshipped the dead, Sarutobi Asuma suddenly found a question: where are the other people in the land? Here. Sorry, we searched and couldn't find Mukuro, the widow of Master Jalu. Did not find. That Captain Asuma. What's the matter, Azumo? Actually, I don't really want to say it. Kamizuki Azumo hesitated for a while. In the underground world, the bounty of Zen Master Jalu was suddenly raised to 000 taels some time ago, those Akatsuki guys. It's not impossible. Asuma sighed, and habitually touched a cigarette and held it. Shikamaru analyzed from the side: if that's the case, those guys should be on their way with corpses on their backs. Azumo-senpai, where is the nearest bounty exchange? I'll see. At the notes he carried with him, Kamizuki Azumo gave the answer, including the nearest one. There are 5 nearby bounty exchange offices. Send the signal. The 4-letter eagles flew to all directions. Shikamaru looked at the sky and nodded. In this way, the few classes from those 4 places can get there as soon as possible. Let's go. After smoking a cigarette, Asuma turned his head and walked towards the door. Several people were about to leave, but the old monk stopped them. Lord Asuma, please stay, and let the old monk pray for everyone who is about to fight. Quote. Fair enough. The simple prayer process was very short, but the old monk was very attentive, with a solemn expression and a solemn appearance. After the silent litigation was over, the old monk looked at the loincloth wrapped around Asuma's waist. Lord Asuma, you and Dalu are the original guardian ninjas. 12 soldiers are also on the list of rewards, and I hope to be more careful. Ha, don't worry, it's no big deal. Asuma folded his hands and gave a salute. In terms of strength, my ranking is still above the land, and it's not that easy to defeat me. Is that so? Shikamaru glanced at his teacher suspiciously, but Kamizuki Azumo was also clueless. Goodbye to the old monk and hurried to the nearest bounty exchange. Shikamaru couldn't help but ask, Asuma-sensei, what is the relationship between you and Master Dalu? Why do you suddenly think of asking this? You told Choji Ino and me about protecting the 12 ninjas before, that old monk just now. Just the pointy ears of your boy. It's the frequency of your smoking that is wrong. Shikamaru sighed. Whenever something important happens, the interval between your cigarettes becomes irregular. Haha, I didn't expect this to be noticed by you kid, it seems that I'm still not experienced enough. Asuma laughed at himself. Shikamaru's expression darkened. No, I discovered this habit a long time ago. Last time 3 generations passed away, you too. Kamizuki Azumo. Steal. Forget it, it's all in the past. My relationship with Dalu is just like you and Choji. We are very good friends. So, Asuma pondered slightly, so everyone must be more careful, Akatsuki people. Since they can kill Dalu, it means that their strength is higher than mine. Didn't you just say? I said that my ranking is above the land and the land, but the strength is actually similar. That guy is a monk, and he always has to abide by this or that discipline. I put a lot of effort into trying to trick him into eating meat. Asuma, you bastard. Isn't it just meat? You are breaking my precept. If it is broken, it will be broken. Come on, take another piece. Good memories are always short-lived. After the joy, Asuma, who was only sad, narrowed his eyes, and Shikamaru Izumo closed his mouth with a little murderous intent. The time on the way passed in a flash, and when he was approaching the Bounty Exchange office, Asuma stopped. Shikamaru, you are better than me in formulating a strategy against the enemy. Okay. Shikamaru stopped and looked left and right. We know that there are two enemies, excluding the possibility of support. We can do this, such and such a sudden attack. The possibility of beheading is as high as 80%. If there is an accident, we will implement the second plan. If it fails, we will retreat according to the third plan. As expected of my disciple, I think so thoroughly. Ah, you've won the prize. A leaf drifted by, and Asuma turned around. Let's go. Yun took the medicine twice, and felt that his thoughts suddenly became much clearer. Brothers and sisters, Union will do its best to repay everyone. There will be surprises on Saturday and Sunday. Text chapter 172 _ The direction of training and the woman who ran away. Come on, Hinata. Lu Meng waved his hand, standing by the water with burning eyes. The little secretary sank naked to the bottom of the water, with two small hands clasped together, standing up on one foot and pointing to the ground. The bubbles spit out from time to time sway the hair up and down, like a mermaid in the ocean in a fairy tale. The slender waist, the bulging chest, and the slightly blurred valley in the water, all make people want to watch. Liamong felt a little hot in his nose, so he quickly poured himself a cup of hot tea. The change of water flow does not feel much to people, but it can bring a strange feeling to the Hyuga people who are cultivating gentle fist. In order to maximize this insight, Liamong specially built this 3-meter deep pool for Hinata, and the surrounding mechanically made water can flow in any direction. The time required for insight may be very long or very short, and only God knows when it will be enlightened. Yes, I'm sorry brother, I still can't. Don't push yourself too hard. He handed over the bath towel that he had prepared for a long time to wrap his body, and the luxuriant embraced Hinata in his arms, and Tamari Anko, who came from a distance, was smirking. The two of you are secretly eating alone again. I haven't said it yet, it's all stripped and naked yet. With a deliberately joking wink, Anko made Hinata's little face Yuhi in one sentence. Tamari couldn't see it and pushed her, and the two of them sat beside them with a smile. Stinky boy, think of a way, it won't work like this. Sister Anko, what tricks can I come up with? Liamong scratched his head with a headache. You all know that I am not practicing ninjutsu, there is almost no connection between the two, and I really have no clue how to improve my strength. But if you insist, maybe. Maybe what? Maybe if you kiss me, I'll remember. Liamong turned his head with shining eyes, and Anko went berserk in an instant. Brat, you bastard. What the fuck am I? You are an asshole. Don't run. Don't run as a fool. Smile. He put down Hinata and walked around for 2 laps. Liamong hugged Anko back, who was struggling, and suddenly asked, do you know Rasengan? The one used by Naruto? Yes. Liamong nodded affirmatively. Among the known changes in chakra, in addition to the rare yin and yang, there are 2 general morphological transformations and nature transformations. Rasengan is the ultimate morphological transformation. What are you telling us about this? Anko opened his arms suspiciously. No one here can make balls. Liamong was depressed. My good sister, can't you just listen to what I have to say? Chakra supplements the form change on the basis of nature transformation, and the ninja's attack power will be rapidly increased. Therefore, what do you say about this common sense thing, the point? Hey, you are so violent. Liamong turned to Byakugan helplessly. It's very difficult to change the form to the ultimate Rasengan for nature transformation. Except for Naruto's pervert, I can't think of anything else. Who can do it? That idiot boy really has such a stake. Of course, he is stronger than everyone imagined. Lu Meng said this without breaking his heart at all. Uzumaki Naruto is the real protagonist, and Xiaoqiang, who can't be killed, is talking about this kind of person. He ain't, why didn't God kill him with a thunderbolt? Complaining, Lu Meng shook his head vigorously, these have nothing to do with us. Naruto can complete Rasengan's training, and Sasuke can also develop Chidori's changes. And we also have our own tricks. That guy Jiraiya, because of the inability to achieve nature transformation, he added fire attribute chakra to Rasengan to create a flaming Rasengan. Quote. What do you mean? That's right. Liamong affirmed Enko's conjecture. I have enchanted magic, so I can naturally help you to move quickly. Although you and Tamari's control power is not a sharp point, with the help of an enchanted weapon, it can also create dual attribute compound ninjutsu. As for whether you can truly integrate, you have to rely on yourself. Damn brat, are we as bad as you say? This Rasengan is a super ninjutsu. You have to think you can do it. I have a way to practice it. So what? Tamari didn't do much. Enko slapped Yuhi first. She used to have a good relationship with Namikaze Minato. But rubbing the balls, let's forget it. Brother, what about me? Hinata, don't be impatient. Rasengan is completely useless to you. Liamong patted the little secretary on the shoulder. Gentle fist hits the acupoints and cuts the veins and hurts the internal organs, so you don't need to think of any other tricks. You need to. What I'm thinking about is how to expand the penetration. If I can learn to punch through the arms, all problems will be solved. I will try my best. Come on. He squeezed Hinata's little hand slightly to cheer. Liamong turned his head to look at Enko and Tamari. Adding another chakra compound ninjutsu will undoubtedly increase the attack power a lot, but after all, this is not a long time. Blacksmithing needs its own strength. We can't rely on equipment alone. I know, it's just you being wordy. Enko's mouth was bored, but his eyes showed a radiance. Although Tamari has never expressed her position, she is also a strong girl. After talking about the business, Liamong suddenly turned into a fox stealing chickens, and slipped both hands into it along the bath towel. Being attacked suddenly, Hinata's little secretary snorted in astonishment, and Yuhi's cute little face went down at a speed visible to the naked eye. Brother, please don't, sisters are still watching. It doesn't matter, let them watch if they like it. He pulled out a hand and grabbed Enko, who wanted to run, and Liuman gave Tamari a wink. The charming Princess Sunagakur flipped 2 Byakugan wildly, and walked away with a 3-star fan. You guys play, I'll fan the wind. Wait for me, I'll come too. Enko struggled to bite and escaped from the clutches, panting heavily. Wait, brat, you will have a good night. Okay, I'll wait. If the loser does not lose the battle, Liamong will not be afraid of the threat of the woman, and besides, he will not suffer. Watching the two women leave together, the gangster with one hand on Hinata's chest turned into a big bad wolf and attacked the poor little Yuhi hat. The bath towel was separated from the body, and a soft, snow-white body was exposed in front of him. Hinata uneasily turned his little head away, and his clenched little hands pressed against his lips, making his heart drunk. Next chapter is 0+. I will post this chapter first. I just came back from the cloud injection, and I will do it again tomorrow. With the support of tickets, Union would like to thank you here first. Text chapter 173_ The Sorrow of Class 10. Liamong is excited, Liamong is feverish, and Liamong's mouth is dry and irritable. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. This is mine, these are mine, these are all mine. Eyes pierced through, and Yuhi grabbed the little feet that Hinata wanted to retract, and the trembling little feet shrunk tightly to the center of the feet, each of which was like a bean crown, and each one was like a bean crown, similar to a small broad bean. This is a pair of exquisite jade feet that can drive any man crazy. It is small, weak, silky, and seems to be boneless. How can it be satisfying to hold in the palm of your hand? Playing it over and over for a long time, Liamong touched up like a fox stealing chickens. Hinata's whole body can be described in one word, that is, arrogant and exquisite, not only the jade feet that Ying grasped, but also the upside-down buckles. The two knees were inlaid there like jade, and they were almost invisible when they collapsed, and they touched the valley all the way up. It was a beautiful line of water and sky, perhaps because of his young age. There was no grass on the bulge, like a small steamed bun that was only slightly caged. Feeling the hot breath spraying down her body, the little girl's whole body trembled, and the slightly heavy snort was maddening. Liamong, who was full of bad water, gave up his plan to directly attack the hinterland, and stretched his smooth waist to touch the softness of his chest. These are two peach-shaped beanbags, and the pink yuhi-colored grapes on the top rise and fall with his breath. I want to take a bite when I see it. Brother, don't bite. He raised his eyelids with a smirk, and Liamong lightly bit him twice. When the woman said no, she had to do it the other way around. I'm a really nice guy, a great guy. Come on, open your eyes. Brother, Hinata opened his eyes wonderingly, but his little head was on the side and dared not look directly. The smirk on Liamong's face was even worse. Pieces of withered yellow flew into the distance, and 4 figures slanted across the horizon. That suit is Plan 1. The body that rushed out in an instant flashed to his side, and Sarutobi Asuma shot out the shuriken with full of anger. The cross dart that spun through the air threw it near. Hidan, who was yawning, danced away the March sickle. Yuhi's sickle dinged and dinged several moon marks, and his right hand hidden in his robe slammed it. Chopped out. What happened? The 3 exclamation marks on the top of his head stayed where he was. Looking at the attacker who was dodging, Hidan turned his eyes to the left and right. Kamizuki Izumo, who came from one left and one right, each carried a giant kunai, which was more than 10 times larger than ordinary goods. It was better to say that it was 2 large ninja swords. Ninja swords are not enough to describe their huge size. Looks like we're lucky. Hand seals with both hands peeked out from the roof, and Shikamaru's mouth curled into a smile. The blood splashed with 2 muffled puffs, and Kamizuki Izumo also showed a smile, but immediately, they couldn't laugh anymore. What are you doing? Do you know how painful this is? Silver has a handsome face with purple eyes. Hidan complained as if nothing was wrong, and he didn't have any awareness of being stabbed at all, as if the 2 sharp knives that pierced his body did not exist. It's really a disgusting environment. After staying in this stinky place for a long time, even the clothes are stained with a disgusting smell. Hey, you're here to go to the toilet. You want to go to the toilet and go inside. What are you doing with a knife? Is this guy a monster? Still not dead from such an injury. Steel. Kamizuki Izumo. Sarutobi Asuma. Nara Shikamaru. All 4 pairs of eyes and 8 eyeballs were cramping, and a gust of wind blew through. Hidan, who finally woke up, blinked and glanced back and forth to figure out the situation. Baidu Interesting Academy. Konoha's pursuers. Hey, you 2 stop turning knives, don't you know it hurts? Immortal. Is this guy immortal? I see. Ha ha ha, I believe in the great evil god. 3 Hidans are immortal. What are you doing here? You killed Delu, right? Asuma seemed to be saying that it had nothing to do with it, but the chill in his eyes was even colder than the cold winter of March 9th. You mean that bald head? Hidan's eyes lit up when he saw Asuma's waistcloth. It's really you. Hidan laughed twice, raised his head mockingly, every inch of his stiff neck moved with extreme difficulty. Are you here to avenge that bald head? That's right, we Konoha took over the task of chasing and arresting you. Akatsuki is a team of 2, I didn't expect you to have such amazing abilities. Where's the other one? Asuma glanced around warily. Hearing this, Hidan showed a smile. I didn't expect that I would be unlucky. But I'll tell you some bad news. You made a mistake in the order of your strikes. I shouldn't be the one to kill first. Shikamaru, watch your back. The sudden exclamation rang in his ears, and Shikamaru jumped out with the wind blowing from the back of his head. Smashed half of the roof with one fist, and Kakuzu, who failed to attack, dashed to the ground. Azumo, Ziti come back soon. After a few points in a row to retreat, without Asuma's reminder, the door god duo also knew the benefits. After successfully rescuing his comrade, Kakuzu snorted sarcastically, I didn't expect that when you had a relationship with money, the guy in the middle was worth a lot of silver. Then I'll give it to you. Hidan has always had no love for money, but I have to dedicate them to the evil god, and you don't want to shoot again. If you ask for it, be careful yourself and don't lose your life. I really want to die in their hands, but do they have the ability? Hidan said as he pulled out two sharp blades from his body, screaming in pain as he pulled it. These nasty bastards who can't feel the pain of others, God will punish them. Asuma teacher. No, I can't run away. Sarutobi Asuma rolled his eyes at the code given by Shikamaru and shook his head, his eyes never leaving Kakuzu and Hidan. There was a big problem with our previous judgment, and the plans were all useless, and the choice to run at this time is to run no matter what. It can't be dropped. So, listen to me, you will use the shadow stitch to contain them for a while, and then I will go and cut off his head, so that he will be immortal. Asuma-sensei, this is too dangerous. I'll come with you. Gangziti tightened the weapon in his hand. Asuma was anxious, don't you understand? This is the only feasible way at the moment. They are more than a star and a half better than us. Turning and fleeing will only wipe out the entire army. One must be dealt with first. However, among us, we can perform assault missions. It's only me. The two of us. You have to protect Shikamaru in addition to paying attention to the other guy. So, it's up to me. Asuma-sensei. Remember the flag. Sarutobi Asuma closed his eyes and fixed his eyes. Sometimes the vanguard must make a decision. Since he chooses to rush to the enemy's line, he must have the consciousness to die. Now. You are not Silver Gwei. Haha, it's good to have a guest occasionally. Except for the Jade General, all other pieces can be sacrificed. This is the rule on the chessboard. We're not playing chess right now. Shikamaru bit Kiba, struggling. Asuma smiled casually, life is like chess is like life. Besides, isn't there still you? Hey, those guys on the opposite side, are you all finished? He raised his head and retracted his right foot. Hidan drew the circle with his own blood. The strange pattern came into view, and Shikamaru Asuma and his party all narrowed their eyes. Watch out, I'm going up. Even though he didn't know what it was, Asuma thought it was better to attack first. As soon as he left his forefoot, Shikamaru's shadow jumped out. Asuma-sensei, you have to be careful. The continuous shadow tentacles came back and wrapped around like snakes, and Hidan, who had suffered a loss, would be easily attacked. Tossing, vertical leaping, sickle flying. First, two giant kunai were thrown out, and then the bloody march scythe was thrown. These things can't stop me. Chakra surged into Jebi, and with the help of special metals, Sarutobi Asuma brought the wind attribute nature transformation to ultimate. There are two soft ding-dings, and the broken section is like a mirror. But being able to cut through kunai does not mean that it can also cut through the march sickle. Asuma hit the jackpot. The reason why the bloody march scythe is called march is because it has a 3-month blade. This strange shape greatly increases the attack area. If you are not careful, you will be injured. The hapless Asuma wasn't the first, nor will it be the last. Successfully obtained the blood of the enemy, Hidan retracted his scythe excitedly and licked his tongue into his mouth. Asuma, who didn't know that he had won the lottery, saw that the melee combat was unfavorable, and his hands quickly formed fingerprints. Kaden Fire Style Ash Burn. Squeeze your chest hard and squirt out a large piece of burning fly ash, which is different from the general Kaden Fire Style. The soot spit out by the ash burning, with secondary additional damage, is a real sinister method. Pity that Asuma made this move today, instead of hiding the enemy, he trapped himself. Hidan, who was burned by the ashes, was not very good. He poured giant mold first. The small half of the body and most of the face, all turned into a burning appearance. How so? Was it hit by the enemy's art? Steel. Kamizuki Izumo. Two Chunin who were beside Shikamaru all stared straight at him. Big trouble. Shikamaru bit his lip to withdraw from the shadow. He had already understood that he could not catch the opponent with his strength without the cooperation of his teammates. Now that Asuma has been hit again, things really aren't going well. That guy. How does it feel to be hurt by your own attack? You have been cursed by me. The slowly raised face is no longer as handsome as before, and Hidan's current appearance is still human. The black and white head has a dot on the top. No matter how he looks at it, it has nothing to do with humans. Shikamaru stared at it and narrowed his eyes. Hidan's madness continued. Come on, the ritual begins. Let's enjoy the ultimate pain together, heretics. Madman, give me death. A strong palm to pick up the flying swallow, Sarutobi Asuma waved the wind knife angrily. Weapons made of special chakra metal have a very high bonus in ninjutsu. The originally short blade has actually grown 3 feet out of thin air. Must cut his head off. Thinking of the disciples behind him, thinking of the two teammates of Izumo Zati, Sarutobi Asuma charged forward. Even if I risk my life, I will. Puff. The pitch-black spear held high suddenly pierced through the outstretched thigh, and Asuma fell out under the pull of an inexplicable force. Hidan, who stabbed himself with a spear, covered his forehead with a grin, and Kamizuki Izumo was completely stunned. How come? What just happened? Asuma-sama It's that technique. That technique hasn't been solved yet. Damn, hurt sharing. In this case, even the shadow scene can't be used. Was supposed to be a one-hit ultimate move was stillborn, but Shikamaru instantly analyzed the situation at the scene. Bad things continued. Hidan wasn't going to wait there. Do you feel the greatness of Lord Cthulhu? Do you feel the imminent death? Heretics, become a Matsuri of Lord Cthulhu. Ha ha ha, your future is only death. Thinking of killing Mr. Asuma. The pitch-black spear held up high stopped in midair, and Hidan, who had won the second lottery, froze in place, and Kakuzu looked at him like an idiot. Want to help? I said that you don't need to do anything. That kid can't keep me under control. When he gets rid of the technique, this guy will die. HMPH, then you just wait. Asuma, who was lying on the ground a little out of the corner of his eyes, Kakuzu secretly calculated the bounty. Standing on the opposite side of the steel Kamizuki Izumo all would. The best way to unlock the persistent secret is to kill the caster, but right now it doesn't work. Killing him would be killing Captain Asuma. What should we do? Calm down, the use of any technique requires conditions. As long as you find it, you can find flaws. Do you have this time? Shadow binding will shorten the duration according to the strength of the enemy and the ally. Gangzi Tai and Kamizuki Izumo understood that, given the difference in strength between Shikamaru and the opponent, the duration of the shadow binding technique must be very short. It is simply not something that people can do to analyze the opponent's technique and decipher it in such a short period of time. Believe him. Sarutobi Asuma has absolute confidence in Shikamaru compared to the doubts of his two teammates. The life of the teacher is up to you, Konoha's smartest child prodigy to date. The 0-character chapter is here. Let's see if it can break out on Saturday and Sunday. The cloud will definitely work hard to code the words. Cheers brothers and sisters. Drums, stayed, 2, Apo. Text chapter 174 It is more convenient. Izumo, how long has it been since you made your request? Up to 10 minutes. Kamizuki Izumo's face was very ugly. No matter how fast the support is, it will take 20 minutes. Trouble. Needless to say, Gangzati also understood that Shikamaru's shadow restraint technique could not last for 20 minutes anyway, not to mention that there was still one person left untouched. There are too many variables, Even if Fang has been despised, there is no guarantee that there will be no changes within 20 minutes. Just in case that guy gets impatient. Hidan, can you hurry up? Don't destroy it, okay, that kid can't hold on anymore. His arms in mid-air swayed vigorously, and Hidan felt Shikamaru's weakness. The effectiveness of shadow mimicry is gradually diminishing, which is not a good sign. But this time was enough for Shikamaru. 000. A genius who can think about the last 10 steps of 200 solutions at the same time is always difficult to understand. Analysis, comprehensive analysis. From the tone of speech, body movements, and previous behavioral thinking and judgment, Shikamaru gradually grasped a few keywords. Putting all this together, the assumptions and probabilities of surgery can be deduced from it. God, sanctions. Ritual, curse. Prepare. I seem to understand something. Shikamaru opened his eyes abruptly as the previous scene flashed before his eyes. Asuma, who fell to the ground, raised the corner of his mouth, and Kamizuki Izumo also showed excitement. Shikamaru, you. Teacher Asuma, I'm about to go. The first release of the interesting academy. Time waits for no one, and now is not the time for nonsense. Get me out. Extremely difficult to move away, and seeing Shikamaru biting Kiba's teeth, Kakuzu's pupils shrank slightly. Can this technique force the opponent to do the same thing as you? With that said, this kid should have seen something. Hidan the fool, What are you doing? Kamizuki Izumo turned his head in confusion, neither up nor down. I'm going to pull him out of that circle so the curse will be lifted. What's going on? Gangzi Tai looked at Asuma and then at Hidan, his eyes fixed on the blood circle on the ground. Shikamaru bit Kiba and explained, looking at his huge weapon, with 3 sides on it, judging by the shape, it seems more plausible to increase the attack range than to increase the attack power. Its purpose should be to make the opponent more or less vulnerable. For some injuries, the extent is not important. In other words, as long as it can be injured, its technique can ensure that the opponent will be killed. Is that a curse? Kamizuki Izumo looked at Asuma, but what's the relationship between the two? It's blood. Shikamaru said in one sentence, if you want your opponent to be cursed, you must let the opponent's blood flow into your body. It is so. Can be Chunin, Steel. Kamizuki Izumo reacted instantly. I also saw him licking blood just now. It turned out that the condition was this. As long as the scythe is stained with blood and put into the mouth, it can curse the injured enemy. Yes, his body will change color after licking the blood, so it is very obvious when this spell is activated. But there is another condition to complete the curse. Shikamaru turned his eyes to the ground as he spoke, and Kakuzu, who had been watching, instantly straightened his eyes. All guessed. This kid. From living in the First World War to now, he took a deep look at Shikamaru, and it has been a long time since he met such a smart person. Hidan, this fool, is really unlucky. What's the other condition? Look at the pattern under his feet. Shikamaru moved Hidan's feet out little by little, with a look of unstoppable excitement on his face. Even if he was hurt by Asuma teacher Kaden fire style just now, he had to run in. In the circle, he later said that the ceremony began to prepare and then continued. Therefore, I judge that his technique must be in that circle before it can be activated. Quote. Asuma sensei's Kaden fire style all hit him, but Asuma sensei was only injured on his hands and face, which proves my judgment from the side. Therefore, as long as he is pulled out, the technique will be released. Underscore. A smile on his face as he retreated at the last step, Shikamaru winked at the teacher who was lying on the ground. I'll try it. Shuriken pierced his earlobe, and Asuma slowly stood up. Hidan was really startled. Stinky boy, I have to cut you to pieces in a moment, you bastard. You have no chance. Shadow summoning. 1,000 machines binding. Summoning all the shadows around to form a thread, Shikamaru squeezed the last bit of chakra. Although there is still one enemy that has not been resolved, it is already dead. Solve one first. Asuma-sensei. Kakuzu, come and help. Hey, you're here. Wisp of knife light across his throat. Sarutobi Asuma stared at the flying head and threw Fei in fiercely. Seeing Hidan's head move, Shikamaru Steel Kamizuki Izumo breathed a sigh of relief. Now there is only one left, as long as... Hey, Kakuzu, why don't you help? Do you know it hurts so much? You bastards, you dare to cut off my head, I will curse you, bastards, bastards. I told you not to be careless, you idiot. Drop after drop of cold sweat slid down his cheeks. Sarutobi Asuma, Shikamaru and the others all swallowed. This is still not dead. What kind of monster is that guy? But it doesn't matter, the head can't control the body, so there is no need to worry about the curse. That way, as long as the other one is resolved, they can live. But, are you going to retreat? Shikamaru rolled his eyes at Asuma's leg injury, shook his head, and forgot the idea of running. Judging from the current situation, the retreat is very likely to be bitten to death by the opponent, and there is a lack of chakra to continue the fight, and the main combatants are also seriously injured. Trouble, big trouble, what to do next? Step by step, he walked to the melon seeds that fell on the ground. Hidan saw Kakuzu coming, and opened his mouth full of resentment. Did you mean to? You said before that you don't need help. But I just asked for your help. I didn't hear it. You did it on purpose. Idiot, I've already warned you. Now that you're embarrassed about this, you're too embarrassed to yell at me. Ha, wasn't this careless? Okay, Kakuzu, I admit my mistake, help me feed my body. Hey, I'll let you move your body, what are you doing with my head, it hurts. It's more convenient. Today's first update, please support if you have the ability. Text Chapter 175 _ Soul Conscience Body Money. Meteor in July, rain in August, and Hinata after a night of warmth. Liamong met the third son who had returned from hard work in the living room. Mobile phone reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Recently, the Hokage version of Las Vegas Casino has been completed, and the entire Taoyuan Street seems to have become a holy place for gamblers overnight. On Taoyuan Street, chips completely replace the role of silver tickets. Chips are used for meals, chips are used for staying in restaurants, and chips are also used to find women. As a Liuman who vigorously pursued this right strategy, it is only natural that he made a fortune in it. Master the currency of a region and get riches beyond imagination. Big brother. How's it going? Liamong poured a glass of water for the third son and raised his eyes inquiringly. It's not bad. Third young master took the cup and sipped. Our people have already entered the outer cities, and I believe they will soon be able to enter the Daming Mansion. Is there an official settlement? Lu Meng tapped the table worriedly. The third son smiled happily. There is no problem at all, just like you said, big brother, the problems that can be solved with money are not problems, they are more greedy than imagined. The other thing, are you really going to do that? Of course. The third son cracked the steel kiba. The shame they put on me, I must take revenge. Even if I become an evil spirit, I will never forget my mother's blood feud. Okay, since you insist. Liamong clapped his hands twice, and a person walked in outside. The people who walked in had long hair and shawls, and they looked very handsome, which made people feel like a spring breeze when they saw them. He is professional liar. Baidu Interesting Academy. Liamong suppressed his saliva. The person who walked in immediately lost his previous demeanor, as if he had suddenly changed from an emperor to a beggar. Boss, don't say that, a liar also has dignity. Am I wrong? No, the visitor was speechless. But could you be a little more euphemistic? It's not a liar to be more euphemistic. Yes, it's a liar, what you said is absolutely correct. Extremely frantic nodded and admitted, it was the first time someone who came here found that the big boss was so difficult to deal with. Liamong, who had been teased enough, smiled and turned to introduce to the third son, he is the person I found for you, take revenge according to your ideas. The enmity of the biological mother is undeniable, since you don't recognize the father, don't do it. Make your mother wrong. Thank you, eldest brother. The water in his hand was drained in one gulp, and the third son looked at the liar introduced by Liamong. What's your name? I have many names, which one do you ask? Forget it, these are not important. The third son shook his head, and bluntly stated his request. Your mission is not complicated, chase down the daughter of the famous son of the country of fire, and videotape her and you in bed. Take a photo, make a marriage contract, abandon her at the engagement ceremony, whatever the reason, the bigger the trouble, the better. Quote. Can I quit? The liar swallowed several mouthfuls of saliva, and the top of his head was full of explosions. If you don't bring people like this task is not complicated, but it is fatal. That is the daughter of the famous son of the country of fire, not a wandering warbler that can be found on the street for $2. If you do this, you will die. Lu Meng glanced at him lightly. I never like to force others, really. Real. What a shit. This is asking me to sell my soul, my conscience, my ********. No, absolutely no, you can't do this. Well, in this case, you can go, and the 10 million commission money is gone. What? The liar jumped high all of a sudden. What did you say? I said you could go. No, that's not it, the liar asked eagerly, twisting his legs together. Lu Meng blinked suspiciously, as if he didn't remember anything. Liar is in a hurry, 10 million inches. Are you asking about the 10 million and 2 silver tickets? Yes, this is it. The liar chicken nodded as if pecking at the rice. Liamong suddenly realized, that's 1/3 of the reward. In order to avenge my brother Zaihua, I am willing to pay you a total of 30 million taels. But you have to keep your soul and conscience and, I have to find someone else. Find another beautiful boy with extraordinary temperament, handsome appearance, and various anecdotes about Grandmaster. Such a person is hard to find, but you will definitely find it. No, big boss. The liar said 3 no's in a row, and his expression changed. Although my soul is very important, 10 million silver tickets are more important. Look carefully. Look, I'm the person you need. A handsome young man with extraordinary temperament, good looks, and all kinds of anecdotes about Grandmaster. I've taken over this task. No regrets. Liamong smiled jokingly. When it comes to money, I never regret it. Really? Of course. The liar nodded vigorously. It is my lifelong pursuit to star in an adult film with a princess. But you have to promise that you will arrange for me to have plastic surgery afterwards. I think Taoyuan Street is good, and I will be with you in my next life. The subordinates ate it, and forgot the big boss took it in. Quote. You are so smart. Embarrassed and self-deprecating, he bowed his body, and the liar cursed inwardly. Could he not be smart? Money is a good thing, but it is not good to spend it if you have a life. Anyway, since hearing this news, there is no guarantee of small life. It is better to gamble, and there will be a fate after success. 30 million. I am aiming for 30 million. What's wrong with it? Taking the liar's expression changes into his eyes from beginning to end, Liamong slammed the teacup with satisfaction. Don't worry, I won't do anything to kill people. As long as you do this, I will invite the apprentice of the head of Sanin. I'll do it for you personally, to ensure that there are no flaws in the mission. Then you can live on Taoyuan Street with your money. Maybe you need 1 or 2 wives, and you need to have a few children. Thank you, big boss, I will. I really long for this kind of life. Well, what do you need? Identity. The liar said earnestly. If you want to get close to the daughter of the famous son, you must have a prominent identity. Zaihua, are you prepared for this? Brother, I have been preparing for this day for a long time. The third son bit Kiba, bloodshot in his eyes. I will arrange your identity. From now on your surname is Abe, next to the great Onmyoji Abe Seimei descendants. Quote. Will this reveal any flaws? Liamong frowned worriedly, pretending to be a descendant of the Onmyoji is different from others. If it doesn't work, it will cause big trouble. Third young master smiled. very proud. It doesn't matter, there is such a thing, no one will doubt him. Today's second update, brothers and sisters for support. Text chapter 176_use force to break ingenuity and ingenuity to fail. What the third master took out was a folding fan, like a fan made by Kobo, with a fan covered in white gauze. Because the age is too long, the white gauze fan is slightly yellowed, but this does not affect the aura of the fan at all, but adds a piece of history. Doesn't this thing look fake? Not to mention the sharp eyes, even the liar standing next to him also saw the extraordinariness of the folding fan. It's my friend's relic. Third young master breathed a sigh of relief. Big brother, don't worry, the fan is real, and the identity of the younger brother can be tested. The only trouble is that this guy doesn't understand anything. But it doesn't matter, there are quite a few on my OG from home to the middle, so it's enough to ask someone from the inside to give some advice. Does this really work? It's okay to have this fan. The third master unfolded the folding fan slowly, and 12 beautiful pictures of men or women appeared on the paper. This is a table of the 12 Shikigami portraits. The level of on my OG is directly related to the Shikigami they drive. The more beneficial the on my OG is, the more and stronger the Shikigami can be driven. The reason why Abe Seimei is called a great Shikigami on my OG, because he can drive these legendary characters, Qinglong, Suzaku, White Tiger, Xuanwu, Tiano, Taiyan, Taichang, Guzhen, Tang Snake, Sky, Tianyi. Sangongzi pointed at the folding fan while reporting his name. After listening to Liamong, he was a little confused. There is still such a person. It's all dead long ago. Today's on my OG can be considered a master at driving two little devils. How can there be a person with a similar appearance? Otherwise I wouldn't dare to take this risk. Then do as you said. Liamong waved his hand, and he was afraid of a fart even if he died. The liar standing beside him listened to himself deciding his own destiny in a few words, and felt an inexplicable resignation in his heart. Liamong looked at him up and down. In addition to the identities Zaihua prepared for you, I will provide you with 8 loyal servants, a house and a carriage, so you can be considered worthy of your identity. It is more convenient to read on a mobile phone. Heihei168.com. Don't worry, big boss, with these things, the little ones will definitely be able to capture them. It's the photographer. You just soak your princess, and we will solve the rest of the problems. Then it's all up to the boss's arrangement. Go down first. Liamong raised his hand and waved. The liar bowed and exited the door, closing the door carefully. Hidan, who was held by Kakuzu in the public toilet near the Temple of Fire in the Country of Fire, couldn't stop screaming in pain, complaining while shouting. Hey, can you not shake my head? Hey, do you know how painful this is? Hey, did you hear me? I don't call him hello. Kakuzu lowered his eyebrows and put his hand in his hand. Shut up your long-winded mouth, or I'll sew it up for you. Kakuzu, we are partners, don't tug at my hair, it hurts you know. Can hair hurt more than neck? Hidan CC Kiba, of course the neck hurts more than the head, it's not just an injury. Speaking of which, I have to blame those bastards on the opposite side, you say, right? The harsh roar resounded in his ears, and the 4 of Shikamaru Asuma were speechless, all of them murmured. What kind of monster is he? This can't be explained by common sense at all. Tired and staggered on the ground, Shikamaru held his head up with difficulty, sweat dripping from the top of his forehead. Steel and Iron Kamizuki Azuma looked at each other and knew that there was a lot of trouble. The only good thing is that the monster on the opposite side lost his body. Although he didn't die, as long as he didn't connect back, he couldn't use the curse again. The appearance is terrifying, but in fact there is no harm. With that said, there is only one left. Run away or keep fighting. The dilemma of choosing one of the two lingered in their minds, and the eternal duo made a decision. There are too many variables to escape, kill him. Azumo. I understand. A two-handed hand seal. Kamizuki Azumo ran towards Kakuzu. The steel behind him opened the hidden button on his chest, took out the sub-scroll and unfolded it. Let's go. Sweetened water style, water candy Nahara. While running, the mucus spewed out of his mouth was sprayed forward, and at the same time Kamizuki Izumo started to move. Gangzi Tai also unsealed the large shell-shaped hammer from the scroll. This strange weapon, which looks very much like a conch, can drive the air to swirl when it is swung, so that the enemy's hearing can be disturbed by it. It is the first magic weapon of Yin people. However, no matter how good a weapon is, it also depends on who is using it. Unfortunately, Kakuzu is not afraid of this stuff. Two naive idiots. Let the old man die. Left punch, right kick, left leg stuck to the ground didn't move. Kakuzu turned like a windmill. Hidan screamed and was thrown away. Just as Asuma was about to take the flying swallow and cut it in half for him, the air cannon was blasted out. Futon, wind style, empty bomb. The ninjutsu released in a hurry is not powerful, but it is enough for a wounded number. Hidan, whose head fell to the ground, gurgles and rolls to the side of the body, and two earthworm-like black lines on the ground connect him to his body. Hey, can't you do it yourself? What if the seam is crooked? If the seam is crooked, remove it and re-seam it. Kakuzu, do you know that you hate people? I have more hated people, do you want to know? Ah, forget it, it hurts. The black thread that went in and out through the skin connected the brain and shell back to the body. Hidan lost the idea of arguing with Kakuzu. The situation is stronger than the person, waiting for the day you ask me. Biting Kiba to endure the pain of the flying needle, Hidan sent all his resentment to Asuma. Just wait, I'll send you to see the heretic god right away. Damn you bastards, damn you, damn you. Azumo, Z-Iron. Kakuzu, whose arms were separated from the body, never gave him any chance. Idiots are always idiots, never know how to learn. You're more stupid than that guy on the ground. Hey, are you talking about me or him? Hidan crawled up from the ground, looking very depressed. Shikamaru, who had run out of chakra, was completely cold. Remember, in the face of absolute strength, any conspiracy will have no effect. Boss, is this what you call absolute power? I am still too weak. However, the next chapter is 4,000 plus, and it will break out tomorrow. With the support of brothers and sisters, the cloud will thank you first. Text chapter 177_ The Last Whisper in Feng Luohuanyan's Ear. Some things are dead woods that men have to do. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. That pill bottle. Throwing away the empty bottle with a clink, Shikamaru stood up firmly. Although the body is still very tired, but already has the strength to fight. Shadow summoning. Master Asuma, hurry up. Don't think about it. The newly sewn head swayed twice, and Hidan danced the sickle in the tentacles of the shadows in the sky. Sarutobi Asuma heard the apprentices shouting, and rushed forward when he mentioned the flying swallow. This is the last chance. If they can't seize it, they can really. Steel iron. Kamizuki Izumo. The half-jumped body suddenly turned back, and Sarutobi Asuma's 3-foot-long wind blade slashed towards Kakuzu's neck. It is impossible to be immortal. As long as one is solved first, the other guy is not a problem. Asuma-sensei, watch your back. The March sickle with the telescopic long rope came out of his hand, and Hidan laughed in the dark shadows of the sky. Can't catch me, boy, you can't catch me, ha 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 ha. Hateful, the power gap is too great. Wrong, what does he want to do? Hidan, who stopped suddenly, remained motionless and was restrained by the shadow summoning technique. Shikamaru was shocked and quickly undid the ninja. Not bad, the response is fast enough, it's a pity. Die for me. The scythe that was withdrawn suddenly turned and slashed towards his stomach, and Shikamaru's eyes widened in an instant. The shadow imitation technique was used, and since it was two people, controlling him was equivalent to controlling Mr. Asuma. It was nothing before, but now. How to do? Either one or the other is dead. Shikamaru's heart sank to the bottom. Fight, block the sickle, and control the two at the same time. Shadow summoning. 1,000 machines. Shikamaru erupted at this moment as countless bloody scythes flew upside down in the air. Boy, it's useless, you are all dead. Do not. He could stop the scythe, but couldn't stop the spear, and Hidan stabbed his chest with the sharp blade that was over the top. Sarutobi Asuma, who managed to save his two companions, was stunned when he got himself in 3 hits. The desperate Shikamaru was smashed out by Kamizuki Izumo, and the out-of-control Shadow could no longer do anything. Teacher Asuma. The spear inserted into his chest, the sickle pierced into his waist and abdomen. Hidan's wild laughter floated to the sky. The two birds that happened to fly by twittering stunned the feathers in the sky and fled into the distance as if they had exploded their nests. Madman. Very scary. The human below is a monster, a big monster. Asuma-sensei. Staring at the midfield with dull eyes, Sarutobi Asuma spit out fresh yuhi. Steel. Kamizuki Izumo. The door god duo who were rescued were ashen. A pierced spear was drawn from his chest, and Hidan, who had recovered his original appearance, raised the corners of his mouth. Let me see, whose turn next? You, are you? Clearly malicious eyes swaying back and forth, Shikamaru Izumo clenched the Kiba pass tightly. Baidu Interesting Academy. Bastard, let's go. Fighting is also a death, not fighting is also a death. Seeing Asuma's downfall, the chasing team went crazy, and the door god duo who completely disregarded their personal safety alternately took cover from left to right, and raised the windmill shuriken in a few turns. Kill them. Avenge Captain Asuma. Shouting a slogan of revenge, Kamizuki Izumo secretly gave Shikamaru a password to retreat. The message must be sent back, go. I don't do it. Knowing that doing so was the right choice, Shikamaru did not do it. How can I run away at this time? Damn it, this arrogant brat. Kamizuki Izumo glared at him, both moved and annoyed. If he didn't pass the news back, he would suffer a big loss next time he met these two guys. Damn, still too young indeed. No matter how smart you are still a child. Tai. Go you go. The tacit understanding between friends does not require words, and Gang Ziti, who is rushing in front, is determined to die in battle. He is an idiot, are you an idiot too? You are not an idiot, you go. Breath in his chest, Kamizuki Izumo suddenly laughed. Die if you die. Sooner or later, you will die, and the people behind you will worry about it. Here we go. The windmill shuriken threw with all his strength, swirled left and right with an ear-piercing sound of breaking wind. Looking at these two big guys, Kakuzu shivered slightly. Very subtle cooperation, but an idiot is still an idiot. Showing off such childish tricks in front of the old man can only lead to his own death. Oops, found out. The pair of sights activated in advance, and the shuriken with the steel wire rotated in both directions. Catch him. He raised his head sharply and shrank his hands quickly. His 5 fingers and kiba scene grabbed the steel wire and pulled it left and right, and even the windmill shuriken turned into a circle. This was originally a very delicate combination. The steel wire coated with non-reflective material on the surface is extremely difficult to find. As long as the enemy is not careful, it will be tangled into a tangle, and the slender and sharp steel wire will be pulled by the 2 lily swords. Dismembered. Azumo Gangzitai planned very well and calculated very well, but unfortunately, they chose the wrong opponent. Hey, Kakuzu, how long are you going to play? Letting himself be restrained by the steel wire, the dead man who didn't hurt a single hair asked Qian to tilt his head. Compared to your stinky and long cumbersome rituals, I'm faster here. What's the matter with that guy? By the steel wire but not injured, Kamizuki Izumo felt a little confused, but he reacted immediately. Use Kaden Fire Style. Sichen Mao Yin. Dragon Flame Jutsu. Physical attack is not enough. Change to ninjutsu. Kamizuki Izumo turned over all the cards. Kakuzu, who was standing there, smiled. His smile meant death. It's such a low-level thing. You can't even lift your spirits. Compared to the first Konoha ninja you met, you guys are really bad. Step. Just one step, the steel dragon fire became a joke, and Kakuzu's power deeply shocked people's hearts. No chance, no chance. Asuma slumped. Shikamaru clenched the Kiba pass. Go away, I'll hold them back. Maybe for a second, maybe for an eternal, the sudden burst of teenagers charged. The closer the shadow binding technique is, the higher the control power, the guy can release a silk thread attack and must hide behind the other. Go quickly. Rushing forward to Hidan's side, Shikamaru started the final struggle in a decisive way. I can only hold on for 1 minute and take Asuma teacher away. Shikamaru. Leave now. Junior, do you really think you have won? The gloomy tone was blowing towards his heart like a cold wind, and Kakuzu's dark green pupils pierced through his heart like sharp knives. Hidan, who was once again controlled by the shadow, was mad. Hey, how long are you going to play? Get rid of them quickly, I'm going to stab this dead boy alive. Damn, it's damned. As I said, I don't call him hello. Kakuzu is okay. Hidan shouted his name twice in frustration and vomiting blood. Are you dissatisfied with me? I rely on your sister Ami. His neck hurts and his head full of electric lights flashing, and Hidan is completely speechless. I can't call you hello, and I can't call your name, so what do you want me to call you? Big brother, ancestors, or grass and mud horses? Several thoughts flashed through his mind. Hidan shook his head quickly. After so long, he understood Kakuzu's character very well. At this time, if you don't follow it, you don't need the enemy to do anything, and the two of you have to pinch yourself. Brother Kakuzu, I'm wrong. Okay, let's do it quickly, we can exchange money after finishing these guys. Money. His eyes suddenly brightened and he nodded his head, and he turned his head out of a desperate need for money, and Shikamaru, who was hiding behind Hidan, was speechless. Iron and Steel Kamizuki Azuma wanted to attack, but the black line all over the sky pulled them in. Junior, do you understand it yourself, or do you want the old man to do it? What is this? The strange black silk flying in all directions could not be controlled at all. Shikamaru's heart froze. Are Akatsuki's guys all monsters? The two perverts. It seems that you don't want to choose, so that's fine. The old man happens to lack the heart of a smart person. Maybe it can be replaced by yours. Bring it to me. The black silk that spewed out of his mouth shot in front of him with a ball of beating strange balls, and Shikamaru's eyes shrank to the extreme in an instant. Kakuzu is still doing it. Junior, you're deaf. What? The crows flying all over the sky croaked and scratched. Hidan subconsciously wanted to cover his face, and a sneer of bitterness penetrated his heart. Demonic illusion Chidu. Your life, I take it. A charming figure slowly emerged, and Kurenai Yuhi turned the kunai in his hand 3 times in a row. Shikamaru was Spartan all of a sudden. Yuhi-sensei quickly retreat. This guy can't be killed. Ha ha ha, you idiots from Konoha have chosen the wrong person again. Am I that attractive? Hey, Kakuzu-san, help me, I'm dying for you again. As I said, I don't call him hello. Okay, if you don't call hello, hurry up and help, okay. There are a lot of people here. Ino, Choji, Yamashiro Aoba. Konoha reinforcements who rescued Asuma Izumo Steel during the chaos were all stunned. Being stabbed in the heart by Kuu didn't die, that guy. He is immortal, retreat quickly, we can't beat him. Shikamaru. Take Asuma teacher away immediately. Ino, follow you. Use medical ninjutsu to delay the journey. Yuhi teacher and I will hold back the enemy. Hurry up, don't waste time. I see. Knowing that there was no time to delay, Choji carried Asuma on his back and wanted to run. Seeing that the cooked duck was about to fly away, Kakuzu was not happy. Keep the money for me. Oops. Junior, stop for me. Bang Lung slammed his fist into the door, and Choji swung his fist on it. Kakuzu like a battering ram, and a deep disdain flashed in his eyes. In a completely unequal fistfight, it was not Kakuzu, the small fist, that flew, but Choji, who used the multiplication technique. This is impossible. A group of idiots, compared with Kakuzu-san in physical skills, that's what fools do. Since you have so many people here, you should all dedicate Matsuri to the evil god Sama. Today is really a good day. Teacher Yuhi, go back. Kurenai Yuhi, who had stabbed a dozen times in a row, grabbed Shikamaru and ran away, dodging the side slashing behind his back. Don't get hurt, that guy. Hey, dead boy, do you want to die? Hidan tilted his head against the sickle, and the black line on his neck was indescribable. Kakuzu, who was still about to start, suddenly stopped, snorted coldly, picked up the suitcase, and left. The boss summons, don't talk to these idiots. Kill them first, okay. My ritual isn't over yet. Then you can stay by yourself. This. Thinking about it with his head tilted, Hidan chose to accompany him depressed. Kakuzu is difficult to deal with, and the boss is even more difficult to deal with. If only he could be cursed to death. Hey, all those guys in Konoha, let me know clearly, write down your fate first. I will come back to harvest soon. Don't die before that, or Lord Cthulhu will be angry. Ha 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 ha. This guy. Choji, don't be impulsive. Holding his friend's gaze, Shikamaru turned around and looked at Asuma, Ino. Yes, sorry. Shikamaru, don't embarrass Ino, I know my injury. The two empty glass bottles were placed on the ground, and Asuma, who had recovered a little from the potion, smiled, and when he saw Kurenai Yuhi, his eyes lit up and turned to loneliness. Asuma. It's nice to see you at the last minute. The words stuck in her throat couldn't come out. Kurenai Yuhi suddenly found that she seemed to like this man who always entangled her in the past. Seeing the inexplicable look in his beloved woman's eyes, Sarutobi Asuma smiled bitterly, but immediately became happy again. Asuma teacher. Shikamaru, Choji, Ino. We are here. Yes, can you light me a cigarette? Asuma teacher. Be obedient, if you don't smoke, you won't be able to draw. Gagging tears slipped down his cheeks. Kurenai Yuhi, who was standing beside him, squatted quietly and pulled out his cigarette from his kabuto. Thank you. It's not good to smoke all the time. I know. Asuma took a deep breath from the cigarette, the bright flames bursting with smoke. Ino. Asuma teacher. Don't cry, it's all a big girl. Although you are stubborn and often look like a crazy girl, you are actually a good girl who can take care of people. Shikamaru Choji is so carefree, I will ask you in the future. Asuma sensei, Asuma, sensei, please stop talking, please. Ino sobbed and held down his legs, his eyes blurred with unstoppable tears. Asuma coughed twice, and Azuma lowered his head. Let him finish, this is your teacher's last lesson. Kurenai Yuhi. Go to sleep in the last cloud. See you tomorrow. Text Chapter 178 Tsunade, Sama don't run away. Asuma is dead. Heihei168.com. An information sheet was pushed across the table. Lu Meng nodded. My two younger brothers should be sad now. Apart from this, is there anything else? 5 generations of Mizukage Terumi Mei, please help to capture Mizuo. What about the pay? She said. What did she say? She said she would marry you. Puff. Cough, cough, what did she say? She said she was willing to marry you. Eagle couldn't stop gloating. A spit of water spurted out of the distant stream and fell silent. Isn't this fucking woman looking for trouble? She's aiming to cause me trouble. Boss, do you want to inform several bosses about this? Ying blinked. Liamong lifted a teacup and smashed it. Get out of here. I'll get out of here, but boss, if you agree to this matter, I can give someone a message when I look back. What happened? Enko heard a noise and pushed the door open. Hurriedly said, Kurigakure, please let us catch Mitsuha. It's that woman's business again. Enla, I didn't say anything. Just you can't go. Anko's mouth pouted, and the flames of battle erupted from his eyes. Liamong coughed twice. If you don't want it, we won't go. Really? Anko didn't seem convinced. Of course it's true. Lu Mang nodded vigorously. Really not going? I really don't go. Forget it. Anko shook his head. I'm too lazy to talk to you, just go. Why did you suddenly agree? I don't agree, you can't sneak away. Interesting academy. Anko's face stunned. I have to watch over you. Cough, then you pack up first, and I'll find someone. To catch Sanwei, Liamong doesn't think he has that ability, and professional work has to be done by professional people. Master Tsunade, you can't vet any more today. Shizune, get out of the way. Xianglin, where is Xianglin? Hurry up and get me another 5 million. Lord Tsunade, we are really out of money today. Nonsense, how can we have no money? You lost everything in the morning. Uzumaki pushed the light mirror, nervous like a small quail. Senju Tsunade sat back in his chair dejectedly. I'm really out of money. It's gone. Have I lost that much? Fragrant scales. Shizune. You have already lost hundreds of millions, how many more are you still losing? God, how did we go to such a master? Enchiungal and Shizune, can we discuss something? You said. Can that Kiki save tomorrow? No way. Shizune Xianglin shook his head quickly compared to pausing. Tsunadiheim was furious. I'll pay for tomorrow's, why not? If you take tomorrow's, you still want to take the day after tomorrow. That's not good. This will work. This is really not good. Asshole. Am I the master, or are you masters? Of course it's you. Then don't give me any money. Tsunade frowned. This we can't listen to you, Boss Liamong said. Say what? Ah, the Boss Liamong said it. What to say? Ah, flamboyant. You guys are always running around with wool, what did he say? Liamong said that you can only use the yuhi from the previous day. Shizune wiped away the sweat, and her pretty faces were filled with helplessness. Did he really say that? Tsunade's eyes narrowed. Shizune Xianglin swallowed, but did not dare to speak, but nodded her head. Tsunadiheim was depressed for a long time, suddenly got up and walked out the door. Where are you going, Tsunade-sama? Go to the toilet. Go to the toilet. Xianglin, did you see her holding the paper? Shizune stared at the door suspiciously. Uzumaki Xianglin blinked and shook his head. I didn't see it. Did she really go to the toilet? Fragrant scales. I think we need to go out and have a look. Sister Shizune, in case, I said in case, the adults really have to go to the toilet. If you really go to the toilet, we'll give her paper. If it didn't go, let's get her back. Can you catch it? Xianglin put 3 question marks on his head. I don't know. Shizune didn't know. I don't know if you're still going. Xianglin thought about Tsunade's horror, and shuddered. Shizune thought for a long time in her arms and walked out the door silently. I can't let her continue to gamble, or we won't be able to eat in the future. Sister Shizune, wait for me. Are you going? Liamong pushed open the door and bumped into the 2 girls. Kato Shizune hurriedly glanced out the door. Did you not meet Tsunade-sama when you came? No. Liamong scratched his head. He really didn't touch Tsunade just now. Oh no. Although he didn't know what Tsunade was going to do, Shizune knew that it was definitely not good. Must find her quickly. Hey, where are you 2 going? Hurry and help us find Lord Tsunade. She doesn't know how to gamble. They lost all my money again. Liamong was extremely shocked. It was all lost in the morning. Come on, this prodigal woman. The casino's 10% pure Yuhili support couldn't stand it all morning, and his eyes almost protruded. With this, you can get money again. In the laboratory, Senju Tsunade took out 2 Yuhi bottles and pursed his lips. The Liamong Shizune Xianglin was sitting in the ice cream shop, looking at me, and I looked at you, all sulking. Why don't you stop me? Can we stop it? The two pairs of Byakugan were stunned, and Lu Meng was speechless. It's not all your fault. Shizune glared fiercely. Why are you blaming me? It's not that you give Tsunade-sama Yuhi, and she won't bet bigger every day. Liamong pouted extremely speechlessly. It's up to you to control this matter. We used to divide the work. You still have the nerve to mention it. I am what you said at the beginning. Master Tsunade will not bet anymore, but look at it now. Maybe it's not time yet. Lu Meng shrank back in a very lacking confidence. Shizune, who was about to say something, suddenly turned his head. There. Hurry up. Master Tsunade, don't run. The first update today. I went out in the morning, and the cloud quick code. Text chapter 179 _ the attraction of the legendary fat sheep. Green shirt, blue shorts, blonde hair is silly. Baidu interesting academy. Stinky boy, why are you stopping me? Sister Tsunade, ahem, in your hand. I don't have anything in my hand. Senju Tsunade hurriedly shrank his hand behind his back. Shizune, who was panting, ran over, staring straight at her. You stole the medicine again, didn't you? No, I don't have one. You must have. I don't. Without you getting your hands out. Look, no. Tsunade held out his left hand. Shizune's face darkened. The other one. The other one. Yes, the other one. Tsunade angrily retracted his left hand to fiddle with it, and stretched out his right hand. Do you dare to take out both hands together? 000, that. Tsunade hesitated for a moment, then stretched out his hands. No, I told you already. Shizune, what are you doing, Xianglin? Let's take a look at the back. You are not allowed to move, just stand here. Why am I standing here? You stand here. Shizune said that he was about to run back. Tsunadeheim followed her frantically. Shizune circled. She also circled. Shizune stopped. She stopped, and after 2 clicks, Uzumaki Xianglin shouted. In the back, on the waistband, Master Tsunade put the potion on the waistband. Little girl, how dare you betray me? No, Master Tsunade. Not what? The gambling money was discovered, and Tsunadeheim's anger spread all over the sky. The speechless Liuman hurried up to smooth things out. Okay, just 2 bottles of medicine. I have something to tell you. Heihei168.com. What business? 5 generations of Mizukage invited us to help her catch Mizukage. No, Tsunade wanted to leave. Liamong quickly stopped him. Really not going. I won't go if I say it. Tsunade was very determined. It's rich, Lu Meng said and let go of his hand. How much? Tsunade, who wanted to leave, immediately turned back. Is there a number? 50 million. Liamong guessed while looking at Tsunade's outstretched slap. I mean 500 million. You want too much. He wiped his cold sweat with shame. You should rob silver, and you'll pay 500 million. Tsunade was not happy at that time. I'm a dignified Sani middle-aged man, helping the little girl to catch the tail beast, and the 500 million appearance fee is too much free. But the price you're asking for is too harsh. I'm afraid that Kurigakure won't agree. If they have the money, they might hire someone else. You seem to have a point. Kurigakure is poor. Tsunade thought about it. How much do you want? Liamong compares to a 50 million is too little. Big sister, do you want to be beautiful? I mean 5 million. Tsunade's face froze. You play slowly. Sister is crazy if you don't accompany you. 5 million is not enough for me to lose in one morning. Stop. I said you stop. Hey, don't run. Kurigakure gives you 5 million, I give you 50 million. Really? Tsunade, who was running, was stunned with disbelief in his eyes. Kurigakure asked me to catch the tailed beast. You stinky brat would kindly give me money. You wouldn't really have an affair with that little girl, would you? Miss Tsunade, don't talk nonsense. What did I say? That's it. Liamong looked around nervously, frowning and pouting. Tsunade laughed immediately, reaching out and flipping back and forth. What do you mean? 25110, 100 million. For me, Liamong blinked suspiciously. Will you be so kind? I didn't give you 100 million, you gave me 100 million. Why? Liamong suddenly called out. Hush fee. Seal, mouth, fee. Yes, or I'll tell your wife that you have a woman outside. Tsunade grabbed her waist with a flamboyant expression. Her two ponytails were all raised. Liamong wanted to slap her to death with a brick. Don't bring such framed people, to your sister is not a thing. Sister Tsunade, you are a person who has been famous for a long time, but you can't do this. It's not a human thing. I really have nothing to do with others. You lie to the ghost, it doesn't matter, you will give me 50 million. Didn't I want to take you out to Kabuto? You see, 10-10 gambling is not a problem. If you change your mood every now and then, maybe it will turn around. If you go out for a walk, you may be able to kill the quartet. Fu Xing Gao Jiao. Don't just say nice things, are you going to give this money or not? I hissed loudly. Tsunade's eyes stood up, pale gold pupils full of threats. Stinky boy, if you dare not give me money, I will report to you 3 little women later. I'll give it, Liamong said angrily. I can't give it, I'll be unlucky if I touch you like this. You're lucky, without me, where would you go to catch Sanwei? Yes, I can't do it without you. Under the eaves, the man had to ditch the head, and Liamong said in his heart that he was waiting for you to beg me. Tsunade didn't take him seriously at all. When are we leaving? Tomorrow. First take 20 million. Do what? Go to the casino. Tsunade glanced at the glare like an idiot. Punk head touched Kabuto, and for a long time he pulled out the second steel jump. Tsunade's face was black, like the bottom of a pot. Money. The money is at home. Why don't you get it for me at home? Bring the medicine here first. Liamong held back the fire and reached for the medicine. Tsunade disagreed 100 times. No, it's mine. I'll keep it for you first. No, what if you steal it and sell it? I will send you those 2 bottles of medicine. Liamong was very happy. Tsunade bit her finger and Shizune looked at her. Master Tsunade. Paying money in one hand and medicine in the other. Then you go home with me. Just come back, it's not that I haven't been there. Tsunade said that he would leave as soon as his 2 golden ponytails swept his face. The itchy nose sneezed twice, which made Shizune laugh. Take money, lose money. Tsunade's speed is always so efficient. Before dark, he rushed out of the casino full of resentment, leaving a group of gamblers laughing. They laughed, and Liuman laughed even more. With Senju Tsunade, the legendary fat sheep, in this town, countless gamblers who want to get rich overnight have all come. The monks have more meat and less meat, and in the end, Taoyuan Street earns more. What is this called? This is called IQ. I adore myself very much now. Stinky boy, what's so beautiful? Get on the boat quickly. In the second chapter of Ask for a Monthly Pass, the cloud will definitely not disappoint everyone. %E. Text Chapter 180 Questions from Anko. The blue sky Shirakumo floats, the blue sea takes a bath, and the blue waves of Kurigakure village, the land of water, surround the sea and the wind blows. Take a deep breath, ba. All he aimed at the kelp flavor. Baidu Interesting Academy. Someone is coming to pick us up below. Where? A warm welcome to Princess Tsunade, Master Kuchiki, to imitate. I hope you will forgive me for the inappropriate reception. Ha, you are too hiss. Pinched the flamboyant Mitarashi Anko hard and pulled him behind his back, raised his chin high and met Terumi Mei's eyes. He has a wife now. I don't care. But I care. Do you care if you have something to do with me? Terumi Mei pursed Yuhi's lips and sighed defiantly. Anko got angry. Damn stinky woman, you seduce a married man. Don't be so absolute, you're not the only wife. Terumi May said and threw a wink at Liamong. Anko's face was black and black. What do you mean? That little guy has 3 wives, and you're only one of them. Terumi May gestured 3 times with a smile, so it's not worse than me. Do you still want Fess? What is Facey? Don't say bird language. You hateful stinky woman, do you want to be shameless? If you want, take it. You. Princess Tsunade, Master Kuchiki, please. Terumi May turned around, ignoring Anko's anger. Leaning aside, Tsunade walked in the middle. Stinky boy, you are not allowed to get too close with her. How can I make you feel so uneasy? You just put me at ease. Interesting academy debuts, Anko said straight and bit Kiba. Liamong touched his nose and didn't speak. It's better for Hinata. Come on, give me a kiss. The little secretary bowed his head shyly, his twisted face like 2 small apples. Sad, too sad for him. Tamari. Tamari ignored me. With 3 women in 3 appearances, Liamong suddenly discovered that his coming to the land of water was the biggest mistake in his life. Came to his residence and walked through the door. Terumi May sent away the rest of the entourage and personally led people to Wen Izumi. Looking at the steaming hot tub, Tsunadihime and Shizune's eyes lit up, and they rushed in and started to undress. I'm tired of traveling, so it's best to take a dip here. The Izumi water here is drawn from volcanic rocks, which is very good for women's skin. Soaked all year round can make the skin white as snow. You mean I have a bad complexion? Anko's face was sullen, and he heard the words all of a sudden. How could it be? Terumi May certainly couldn't say it. I envy your healthy color. In our country of water, I want to have such a dark skin tone, but I can't find it with a lantern. You, gritted his teeth angrily, and Anko suddenly laughed, grabbed Liamong and pressed it in front of him. Stinky boy, am I pretty? Pretty. How is my skin? Good. Then who is more beautiful than me and her? Anko looked at Terumi May proudly, and the 2 little tigers, Kiba, were slightly exposed. 5 generations of Mizukage's face was dark at that time. With a bright smile, he naturally wouldn't speak ill of his wife. You are beautiful, and you are beautiful in the eyes of lovers. Of course, my sister Anko is beautiful. Master Deadwood. Ah, what's wrong with Mizukage-sama? Why don't you call me Sister Mei-ming? This, a pain in the waist and eyes, Liamong found that he was trapped among women, and it was always men who suffered. No, I have to figure out a way to escape quickly. That Hinata, let's go to soak in Izumi, shall we? The little secretary raised his head, looked at this on the left and that on the right, and nodded slightly obliviously. The liberated Liuman quickly pulled up Hinata and rushed towards the bath. Anko, Tamari, Terumi May, who stayed outside, looked at each other with sweet smiles, and the thorns and thorns of fierce electric sparks rang endlessly. You won't make it. Who knows? It wasn't you who married me in the end. Damn stinky woman, stop dreaming. Do I stink? How do I feel like I'm fragrant? It's some black guy, maybe he smells bad. Who are you calling black? Terumi May blinked and didn't say a word. She cocked her chest proudly, and it was very rare that the white flowers showed a small half-pull. Seeing that Anko was at a disadvantage, Tamari added with a smile, my husband, Kun, likes Sister Anko very much, so some people don't want to make bad ideas. Then maybe, there are no men who are not stealing. That's a cat you said, not my man. He's going to be my family soon. Master Mizukage, 5 generations, can you leave the village of Kurigakure? Tamari looked away with a smile, and Matsuri, who was so mad, made a killing move. Anko raised his face proudly, yes, Sister Tamari is so right, can you leave Kurigakure village? I will retire after marriage. Then let's wait until you retire, dear 5th generation Mizukage-sama. Several battles, Anko Tamari walked into the bath, Terumi May fell behind and bit Kiba and followed. Kurigakure village is so busy, don't you need to go back to handle official business? It's not important to have a man for official business or something. Terumi May retorted and walked side by side. Anko bit Kiba, you give up, Brat won't like you. That might be the case. He gave me an idea 3 years ago. Now this girl is more and more marked. It's not like some people are old and will become an old woman in 2 years. Damn stinky woman, no matter how old I am, I'm still prettier than you. Holding back his anger, he walked into the bathtub, and 3 swaying women entered the water. Anko looked at Terumi May, who was shamelessly trying to get to Liamong's side, and suddenly his eyes lit up and he stood up. The falling water slid across her healthy skin, and the carefree woman grabbed her waist. Now let's play a game. I'll ask, you'll answer, those who can't answer will be punished. Mizukage, Sama of the 5th generation, you want to play? Giggle, since Senior Anko kindly invited me, there's no reason why I shouldn't agree, just ask. Okay. Anko snapped his fingers and turned his eyes to the little secretary. Hinata, there are a few suns in the sky. One. The little secretary answered somewhat confused. Anko nodded and asked Tamari again. Tamari, there are a few moons in the sky. 1. Tamari blinked, wondering what Anko was asking for. Anko turned around with a smile on his face. Terumi May was disdainful, an idiot could answer such a simple question. So Anko asked, Terumi May, how many stars are there in the sky? Quote. Chapter 3, Brothers and sisters look at the performance of the cloud, with the ability to support, thanks to the cloud.